Hi, everybody. Good day after Thanksgiving, and welcome to NRG Stadium. And welcome to the regional semifinals in Texas UIL High School playoff football. It's your Marshall Buffs taking on their district rival, the Iowa Colony Pioneers. I'm Roger Smith. Patrick Kinnick is here in the booth to provide color commentary and analysis on today's game. And Patrick, you didn't get to see these two teams play when it was late October, and it was a crucial game, but I figured that they would be playing again. Marshall, on that day, in my opinion, kind of let one get away from them. What do you think is the psychology when a team feels like they should have won the first time around?
It seems like it gives you a little extra boost, a little extra oomph. You got to, stamp home that you are the better team. You felt like you were the better team, and now you want to prove it on the field, and we'll see if that comes into play today.
Well, what I remember specifically from that game is Iowa Colony's best receiver is a kid named Jaden Warren, very physically gifted, and Marshall had really kept him under control throughout the game, but he got loose for a long touchdown that put it away for the Iowa Colony Pioneers, and they scored a late touchdown, oh, by the way, that made it look like it wasn't nearly as competitive as it was. But there are really no secrets here, and I'm going to ask Coach James Williams about that in the upcoming Countdown to Kickoff show. You know, when you've scouted a team, you scouted them for a district game, and they played a couple of playoffs, you kind of know what to expect, right? Or will there be something else in the bag, either for Marshall or for Iowa Colony?
It seems like there's got to be something in the bag that you haven't shown the other team, but like Coach might say, you are who you are when you come to this point of the season.
And not only you are what you are, but you do what you do.
That's right.
You dance with who brung you.
That's right.
As Darrell K. Royal once famously said.
Yeah.
By the way, Patrick, we appreciate the UIL and everything the UIL does for all these extracurricular activities. It's not just athletics. Did you know that well over 50% of what the UIL does involves things that are not athletic pursuits? Did you know that?
I don't know if I knew that.
Well,
Thank you for that information.
And that is really impressive when you think about it. I mean, the athletics, I guess, are what Bobby Bowden would call the front porch of what you do, but there is so much that molds these young people into really great adults that may not have anything to do with athletics. Nevertheless, it is all good. I think it all makes the high school experience even better.
I agree with you 100%.
And speaking of the UIL, Patrick, there are a couple of obligations that we have during our playoff broadcasts, and I'm going to ask you to fulfill that particular obligation right now. And now the melodious speaking voice of Patrick Kinnick.
Attention football fanatics. Don't miss out on the opportunity to be part of the Texas football history, where dreams are realized, legends are born, and where unforgettable moments unfold before your very eyes. Mark your calendars for the UIL State Football Championships, December 18th to the 21st at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where the best teams from 6-man to 6A leave it all on the field in the hopes of being a champion. For the latest updates and ticket information, head over to the uiltexas.org/football. Again, that's uiltexas.org/football.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've done that many times already, Patrick, because there's a chance that, either Randall or Marshall could end up in that state championship football game. And if they're there, we're there. And, of course, there's also the Fulshear Chargers. They're playing later today. We will bring you that game on VypeFortBend.com from Aldine Thorne Stadium, kicking off at 2 p.m., and it'll really be a miracle if we can get there in time for the opening kickoff. But, we risk our lives, Patrick, so that we can bring the people what they need and want.
We'll see if that miracle can happen.
So that'll be a Class 6A Division I game. Atascocita taking on your Fulshear Chargers in their very first year in Class 6A and threatening maybe to win state. But they have a lot of work to do before they can start talking about that specifically. All right, we'll step aside and be right back with the Countdown to Kickoff show. You've got James Williams from the floor of NRG Stadium here on Kirby Drive in Houston, Texas, home of the Houston Texans, who were so kind to let us come in here and and play high school football today on the day after Thanksgiving. We'll be right back.
Leanetti Graphics, the gold standard in Fort Bend County for screen printing, embroidery, banners, signs, t-shirts, and all kinds of specialty items. Whatever you need to advertise or show school spirit, team spirit, or company spirit, nobody does it better than Leanetti Graphics. We started creating our products in an apartment.
Okay, folks, I don't know what happened, but don't worry about it. We can fix it. Every once in a while, the thing that we use to play our commercials just quits. And I'm glad it quit in the middle of a commercial rather in the middle of playing our pregame visit with Coach James Williams. So, repeat first down. We'll be right back.
Leanetti Graphics, the gold standard in Fort Bend County for screen printing, embroidery, banners, signs, t-shirts, and all kinds of specialty items. Whatever you need to advertise or show school spirit, team spirit, or company spirit, nobody does it better than Leanetti Graphics. We started creating our products in an apartment 23 years ago, and now our state-of-the-art facility in Stafford has everything to make your vision come true. Call your friends at Leanetti Graphics, 281-499-4959. Leanetti Graphics, the official banner provider for VypeFortBend.com.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, we got you covered. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity Internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us with an unlimited Plus line. Plus, get Xfinity Gigabit Internet with free Wi-Fi equipment for only $25 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add unlimited mobile. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual internet speeds and data thresholds may vary.
Good morning. Welcome to the Countdown to Kickoff show. A belated happy Thanksgiving from VypeFortBend.com. And here we are with the 10 a.m. game and a triple header at NRG Stadium. Your Marshall Buffs taking on Iowa Colony. Time to visit with Coach James Williams. And Coach, I'm always curious about the Thanksgiving routine, not just you and your family, but your players. I know you had a practice yesterday. How did it go yesterday?
It was great. First of all, thanks for covering us as always. Third round, and love when you guys always support us and cover us. And but it's been a good week. This is my favorite week of the season. It's truly a blessing to be able to practice and play Thanksgiving week. So we had a good week of practice. We fed the team Wednesday after practice. Had a good Thanksgiving meal for those guys. And yesterday had a short practice in the morning so they can get to their families and enjoy Thanksgiving.
So for the team, it was the heavy meal together on Wednesday, and then I bet you told them yesterday, don't load up too much. You want to stay fast.
Yes, we told them to light meals yesterday and save the heavy one for after the game today.
All right, and I also know that you wanted to be home last night so you could watch Devon. They're now calling him Achan with the Dolphins in that game against the Packers.
Absolutely. I definitely was home watching the game, and he was very, very proud of him and the things he's been able to accomplish in his career, which will be a very long career.
All right, so Coach Williams, I know that you and your staff and your players always have to look at what's right in front of you. You can't look down the road. Maybe you allow yourself a few thoughts like that, but when you played Iowa Colony on a Saturday earlier this year, did you feel like there's a good chance we are going to be running into these guys again?
Sure. We knew that our district is a very tough district, and we knew it was a very good chance that we would see each other again in the playoffs. And so, the first time going around, we kind of let it slip away at the end, but we're looking forward to a second opportunity today.
All right. So it does say a lot about your district. Iowa Colony is still alive. Your team is still alive, and Randall is still alive. So I guess maybe these last couple of weeks, it has not been that competitive for your team? I know you're going to be gracious in everything, but you did get some easy wins, and I guess that makes you feel really confident, right?
Well, nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. Those are two good teams we played, and we're playing well right now. And we like to think that, like I said, they were definitely good teams and gave a good competition. But we're playing well. We're playing physical, playing very disciplined right now, and that's been the cause and the benefit of us opening the scores up and winning by good margins.
All right, so I'll rephrase: not easy wins, but one-sided in the final score.
We'll take that, but again, it's a lot to do with the credit with this coaching staff and these kids for playing very physical, very disciplined football, in-block football.
All right, and what you know from scouting Iowa Colony, I know you've played them, but that was several weeks ago. So is there anything that they've kind of added to their repertoire, something different you're having to prepare for from what you saw when you met them earlier?
Well, they're very similar. When you get to this point, the team's going to be who they are. They're definitely running the ball a little bit more and trying to be more physical up front. But like I said, you got to be who you are. You have your team identity. You've been molding it all season, and you have to play to your strengths and play to your abilities.
All right. Is there anybody who the last couple of weeks has not been able to get on the field for you that you have on the field today? Anybody missing that you really wish could be in action today?
No, we should be pretty healthy right now. Unfortunately, we lost one of our offensive linemen, our starting offensive lineman, early in the year. That was week 3, though, so we haven't been out with them for a while. But right now, we should be fully healthy and ready to go.
All right. Anything else you want to say to our listeners before we let you go? And hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
Yeah, I would love to do that and play well today. But Thanksgiving to everybody out there. And thank you all your supporters who are here for M Block and our community and our school and these kids, great kids. And I'm so proud of them. And we look forward to playing well today.
All right. Marshall has made us proud so many times. And good luck today, Coach Williams.
Thank you very much. Thanks for covering us again.
All right, we'll be back. Roger Smith and Patrick Kinnick from NRG Stadium, the first of 2 games that we will have for you today. The second one starts at 2 o'clock, and we will try our very best to get there in time for the kickoff of the game between Atascocita and Fulshear in Class 6A Division I. Our coverage, as always, is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the 10G Next Generation Network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now. We're also brought to you by First Tire and Automotive with 4 great Fort Bend County locations. Leonetti Graphics, the official banner provider of VypeFortBend.com. And we're also brought to you by League One Volleyball, LOVB.com, also known as Love Houston. It is the new major league, and they start with the Houston team in this entire new professional volleyball league in January. And their home matches will be at the Fort Bend Epicenter. So the Houston-based team will be based in Fort Bend County. All right, we'll be right back and get this one underway. It is Iowa Colony against Marshall, meeting for the second time this year, but this one is for keeps. This is VypeFortBend.com, your one and only broadcast home for Fort Bend County sports.
Mark your calendars. Professional volleyball is coming to Houston in January 2025. Led by Houston's newest pro team, Love Houston Volleyball, get ready for non-stop action as some of the world's best players take the court. Featuring Olympic medalist Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson, Love Houston is ready to compete for the season's first championship title. Get your tickets now for this historic first season. Visit LOVB.com today. Volleyball is the next major league.
Be the first to know. Sign up for the First Tire and Automotive email updates and be the first to hear about exclusive promotions and special offers. Plus, get a $10 off coupon for your next service just for joining. First Tire and Automotive always treats you like family and puts you first. $15 off your next battery purchase and $75 off service totaling $500 or more. Head to the website for even more specials and to set your appointment. FirstTireandAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive's 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. FirstTireandAuto.com.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, welcome back inside NRG Stadium, where the captains are meeting in the center of the field, and they'll let us know who's going to get the football first. James Kelly is our referee, says Marshall has won the toss and deferred, so Iowa Colony will get it first, and they will defend the north end zone here at NRG Stadium. Patrick, do you like the Marshall uniforms?
Yes. Got the, well, you're going to have to describe them for us, Roger.
Okay. By the way, the captains for Marshall, Ryan Johnson, Deshaun Harris, and Peyton Long, the little running back who is tough as a boot, tough as a $2 steak. Okay, so Marshall is the home team, and they're wearing the road white uniforms. The jersey tops are white, and they have the gold uniform pants, and they're wearing the gold helmets with the very thick, bold-faced black capital M. And inside the M it says block, because, Patrick, today NRG Stadium, at least from 10 a.m. to about 1 p.m., is M block. Did you know that?
Well, yes, M block.
And you got the Iowa Colony Pioneers, a prodigious young football program, making a lot of noise, trying to knock off the two-time state finalist Marshall Buffs. And they are wearing the black jersey tops with the big, bold white numerals, which Patrick and I really like to look at because we are high, high above the surface here at NRG Stadium. Miguel Diaz to kick off for the Marshall Buffs. And the kick is in the air, and it's rather short, and it's a fair catch at the 34-yard line by number 11, Hayden Caston. And by the way, Patrick, look for Hayden Caston, number 11 on Iowa Colony. He was all over the place on October 26th when Iowa Colony defeated their district rivals, the Marshall Buffs, 35-21.
Well, according to the roster, he is an outside linebacker, so he's hunting down the Buffaloes on defense. First play from scrimmage. Roger's got the binoculars going, and we're ready to go.
All right, we are ready to rock. Aaron Tenner is the freshman running back, but they're going to pass it on the first play, and it's a big completion into Marshall territory out to the 44-yard line.
Antoine Martin was the receiving man there. He was wide open in the gap there. And a big play for the Pioneers on the first play from scrimmage.
Carson White is the quarterback in the shotgun formation, 1st and 10 from the Marshall 44. Three receivers on the near side of the formation, and White hands it off, and there goes Tenner bouncing outside, splits a couple of tacklers, and gets down to the 34. That's another pickup of, well, almost 10.
Yeah,
Give him 9. It's 2nd down and 1.
Boy, he had a lot of room to run there. And 2 good plays for the Pioneers to start this thing. Let's get the Buffaloes settled down here.
Isaiah Williams made that last tackle, and now they swing it out to Tenner on the near side. And he gets the first down, tumbles inside the 35 to about the 32.
What do you call that pass play? Everybody runs that. It's a little flare pass. You get the receivers blocking for you. And
I would say swing or flare.
Yeah.
One or the other.
And everybody runs it. The pros, college, high school, and you got to have good blocking from the receivers to make that work, and they did on that play.
Jacoby Davis made the tackle for Marshall. 4-man front for the Buffs. White turns around, hands it off straight up the middle to Tenner, who then bounces outside, and he is tripped up. That might have gone for a lot longer if not for the ankle tackle of Carl Pelican.
Yeah, he had him by the ankles, and there was a lot of room for Tenner, as you said, had he gotten past him. That said, he still picked up about 4 yards.
2nd down and 6, ball on the near hash as Iowa Colony moves from left to right on this, their first possession. And they look very sharp thus far on offense. Carson White turns around, hands to Tenner up the middle. Plenty of daylight, dodges a man, gets to the 20. And then he's pushed back. Pelican trying to rip the ball out. And then help arrived. Dietrich Brown finishing off the tackle, but it's a first down at the 19.
Good blocking again by the Iowa Colony line. They really pushed him to the left. He cut back to the right, the runner, and then got that first down inside the 20.
By the way, the Marshall band just now arriving. I was wondering if they were going to be here. White on a quarterback draw. Bounces outside the numbers near side. 10-yard line, 5-yard line. Inside the 5 to the 3 and wrestled out. If not for Ryan Johnson, that would have been a touchdown. They mark him at the 4. It's first and goal from there.
I saw the running play. The running back went to the left. I thought perhaps the quarterback went the wrong way, White, but he went to the right, and he found a lot of room all the way to the 3-yard line.
Well, they had him at the 4, Patrick. Did you see that? They put the foot at the 4. Now it's at the 3, and White goes up the middle, and he gets to the 1, and then they push him back. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it seems like we see the officials spot the ball in a specific place, and then the ball moves a yard or two before we run the next play.
Yeah,
and it's baffling us, isn't it? We saw it several times with Ridge Point and North Shore. All right, second and goal at the 1. Bunch formation for Iowa Colony. Carson White with the tush-push play, and he does not get to the end zone. He got about half of the 1 yard that was needed, and it's going to be third and goal coming up.
Well, DeCedric Brown, number 17, just jumped into the pile. That ball, it looks like it's touching the goal line.
Yeah, it is. They could the center could fall on it, and it'll be a touchdown. Now he sneaks it again, goes over left guard, and gets in. Touchdown, Iowa Colony.
Well, talk about an early statement, Roger. They came out and just took it to the Buffaloes on that first possession. Good job by the Pioneers. And tell me, Roger, you know me well enough now. What did I like about those last couple of plays that Iowa Colony ran?
On short yardage, they decided that they should not go from the spread.
Yep. Just make it easy, and they did it there. And we have a 7-0 game already, Roger.
And Andy Cruz adds the extra point. I've got a lot of good things to say about Andy Cruz. He's an outstanding kicker, and we'll be back on VypeFortBend.com. 7-0, 8:32 to go in the first quarter. Iowa Colony over Marshall.
Be the first to know. Sign up for the First Tire and Automotive email updates and be the first to hear about exclusive promotions and special offers. Plus, get a $10 off coupon for your next service just for joining. First Tire and Automotive always treats you like family and puts you first. $15 off your next battery purchase and $75 off service totaling $500 or more. Head to the website for even more specials and to set your appointment. FirstTireandAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive's 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. FirstTireandAuto.com.
All right, Andy Cruz to kick off for Iowa Colony. Patrick, he's had about 70 kickoffs, and more than half of them are either touchbacks or the other team ends up inside the 20.
That's impressive.
Now he bombs it toward the end zone, and it goes into the end zone on the fly, so there's another touchback. And Marshall will start the offensive part of the day at their own 25-yard line. You know, I forgot to mention someone when we first said hello at the beginning of this broadcast.
Somebody from the mothership?
That's right. Les Clary is our silent partner inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters, and as always, when he's at the helm, steady as she goes.
Well, let me say this, Roger. That was a classic hit-you-in-the-mouth drive to start the game. Let's see if the Buffaloes can respond here, trailing 7-0.
The very tall Caden Johnson is the quarterback, and Peyton Long, the very short one, is alongside him in a little swing pass to the near side, and it's complete, but for a loss of 1 to Andre Feast.
What a play there by number 7, I believe that is. Number 7,
Solomon. Jarvis Solomon had multiple interceptions in the first game between Marshall and Iowa Colony.
Yeah, he read he read the block, and then he was able to trip the runner up for a 1-yard loss. And the Buffaloes come in 2nd and 11 now.
From the near hash, going right to left are the Marshall Buffs. Caden Johnson going to keep it up the middle, dives, and gets 5 yards.
I don't mind that call. I like it. Positive gain, 5 yards, like you said, Roger. And it gets Johnson a little taste of the action. He gets hit on that play, and it's 3rd and 6 here, but better than 3rd and 11. We never did. How tall is Johnson? He's a tall
He's
fellow.
at least 6'4".
He's a
big kid.
And a junior.
Peyton Long is about 5'7". Johnson, this is a passing down, 3rd down and 6. He tried to draw Iowa Colony off, but they held their water. 3-man defensive front. Long moves from the right side to the left side, and now he got early movement, and I think it's a false start against these Buffs.
You know why I think it's a false start?
Because the center didn't snap it. Everybody else moved.
Yes, right, Roger. The center, the ball was right where the center was. He stood up, and the ball hadn't moved, and everybody else had. I don't mean to laugh, but it just was kind of a humorous-looking play there. But that does make it a 3rd and 11, not where you want to be for the Buffaloes here. 3rd and 11.
There's another thing I notice about being at NRG, but I'll tell you later on. Johnson rolling to the right on 3rd down and 11, and he throws incomplete. Not really good communication. He was trying to get it to Dejon Taylor, who kind of turned it out, and he threw it in the direction where the cut was made as if it was a stop route.
Yeah, he also got pressure on him from Chris Johnson of the Pioneers. He was on his waist as he was trying to make that pass. Tough chance for Johnson there.
And Jeremy Garner almost intercepted it. So it is time for the Buffs to punt. And it's Diaz in punt formation, standing at his 10. Gets it out of there. Kind of a knuckleball kick, and it comes down at the 46-yard line. Fair catch called for and made there by Jaden Warren. And remember that name, Patrick. He's the guy that had the game-breaker late touchdown in the October 26th game that Iowa Colony won 35-21. Marshall, by the way, is 10-2 on the year. The only losses to Randall and Iowa Colony. They finished 5-2 in district play, and Iowa Colony at this point is 11-1. Their only loss was to the Randall Lions.
Well, they're off to a great start right now, are the Pioneers.
Carson White drops back, clean pocket, throws near sideline, got a catch. Down to the 37-yard line, a pickup of about 8. He delivered it to Ian Hill.
Roger, that was a tough pass. I mean, there were a couple of defenders right there. He kind of threaded the needle and got about an 8-yard gain. Good catch also there by the receiver Hill. The Buffaloes are on their heels.
They really are. You don't want to go down 2 touchdowns to these guys. There's a toss sweep to Tenor going left, and a beautiful tackle in the open field that prevents a first down. And I think that is Carl Pelican.
Looks like it.
And he limited him to a gain of 1, so it's 3rd and 1 coming up.
Didn't look like there was a chance for them to stop him short of the first down on that play, but great play by Pelican. So it's a 3rd and 1 though, and this probably is 4-down territory if they don't lose any yardage.
I would be thinking so. Man goes in motion, then reverses his field, and it's a pass into the flat that is simply dropped by that receiver, Jacody Miles. He started going to the far side, came back this way. He was wide open, and Carson White hit him with a perfect pass. It would have been a first down, but now you said 4-down territory. It looks like you're exactly right.
It was a perfect pass, and like you said, he just dropped it. And it is 4th and 1, and they're going to go for it from the 36-yard line of the Buffaloes. This is one of the big key plays of the game here early in the first quarter.
Antoine Martin in single coverage with Dylan Waters. Now he moves to the middle, and now a run to the right. It is Carson White, and he gets the first down at the 30.
And he got a little extra there, all the way to the 30. 6-yard pickup. Talk about an easy play. It was just basically snap it, let him run to the right with blockers out in front of him, and they got that first down pretty easily.
And you know what? That moves the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. I went there earlier this week, Patrick.
Oh, okay.
Carson White, empty backfield, drops back, steps up, throws over the middle, got a man inside the 20, and there goes the touchdown man, Jaden Warren. He broke one tackle, and that was the only chance that Marshall had to bring him down, and he scores, and it comes from 30 yards out, and the Iowa Colony Pioneers they've got those covered wagons going in high gear.
They sure do. They're cracking the whip, And the Buffaloes better wake up here pretty quick.
Here's Andy Cruz again. The kick is up, and it's right down the middle. By the way, here at NRG Stadium, we can tell if it's really right down the middle or if he barely made it.
Yes.
All right, look out, Buffs. You better get it in gear. It is 14-0, and we have 4:52 to go in the first quarter on VypeFortBend.com.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, we got you covered. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity Internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us with an unlimited Plus line. Plus, get Xfinity Gigabit Internet with free Wi-Fi equipment for only $25 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add unlimited mobile. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual internet speeds and data thresholds may vary.
All right, it's the Taylor brothers deep to receive the kick, and it is Durrell who wears number 0, brings it across the 20 to the 22.
Roger, with 4:45 to play here in the first quarter, it's 14-0, as you know, and the Buffaloes have been out yardaged so far. 111 total yards for Iowa Colony to 4 for Marshall. So, as we said before the break, they better get something going here. This is the time because you don't want to get down 3 scores. 2 is bad enough.
The diminutive but very effective linebacker Adrian Porter made the tackle, and now they give it to Durrell Taylor, and that's a productive play. Gets about 7.
That's the best play.
Almost to the 30.
That's their best play of the game so far, and as you said, Taylor was able to find a good hole, and it's a 2nd and 3. They got the hurry-up offense going here for the Buffaloes as well. Both teams not huddling.
By the way, that was the safety, number 22, Kalen Simmons. And now the Buffs get it going, and a running play off the left side, well blocked, but a flag is down.
No, it's a helmet, Roger.
Oh, it is a helmet.
Yeah,
You're
number
right.
72 lost his helmet. That's Mitchell. And he got rolling around the 25-yard line. He had to come off the field for one play, obviously. And but as you said, Roger, good blocking and another good run for Taylor. That's what they needed to start this particular drive.
Durrell has moved in at running back. He and Peyton Long are both back there with Caden Johnson. And Johnson hands it off to Durrell Taylor again. Pounds off the left side and gets about 3.5.
Yeah, maybe 4. And they've given it to him 3 times in a row. All positive plays. And, you know, one of the best ways to slow an offense down is not let them have the ball. So maybe that's what Marshall's thinking here. A little sustained drive, keep the Iowa Colony offense off the field here.
The first time, the Buffs went 3 and out. Now on 2nd down and 7, they give to Peyton Long, and the little man spins into the big mass of humanity, and he picks up about 3 to the 45, so that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 to go, and this is a big play for Marshall. They got to keep the ball here down by 14 as we get toward the end of the first quarter.
Marshall always runs more than they throw, but they set up the big passing game. Andre Feast and Jacaden Ferguson on the near side of the formation, and they throw it into Jacaden Ferguson, and he heads to the sideline. He got to the 47, and
short,
I think he's going to be about a foot short.
Yeah, they're a little short, unless the mark gets moved up a little bit.
Which has been known to happen.
It has been known to happen, Roger.
Especially lately.
We have noticed a lot of that.
He's got it.
I feel like they need it's either a first down or they should measure this thing. They're going to measure it, I think,
Yeah,
Roger.
he's got it. They don't need to measure it. I can tell him from up here.
Roger, I don't know how you can tell so easily.
He's got it.
I'm not so sure. There's a timeout, and what are they doing? Are they going to They are going to measure it, aren't they? Yes. And like I've mentioned before, it always seems to be on the far side. They got to bring that stick all the way across the the field, it seems.
And the Buffs, during this little timeout, have assembled in such a place that the guy on the southernmost stick has to go around them. They decided it's easier to move 13 boys and about 5 coaches than it is.
It's easier
the stick guy.
It's easier to move the herd, right, than it is to move the sticks. Roger predicted it's a first down. I'm not so sure, but for some reason he might have had a better view. I don't know, but that ball is very, very close. We know that. And if they don't have it, Roger, is this a go for it situation, you think?
Well, it's an embarrassing situation for me if I've made these bold predictions.
It is a first down, Roger. Nope. Yes, it is. Roger, you were right. Oh, what? Now the coaches for Iowa Colony are saying, wait a minute.
And Mr. James Kelly, who's the referee, who's the only person that matters here, he says
it's still
first down.
What does that make you think of, Roger?
It makes me think of First Tire and Automotive. You should take your car there for not only great deals and prices on the finest tires, but also anything that they need to do for your car to keep it running at its very best. And I am very confident that when we get out of here and we drive slightly illegally at speeds towards Aldine ISD's Thorne Stadium for the second game of our doubleheader, Fulshire against Atascocita, that my car will run at its very best. From the 48-yard line, it is Dejon Taylor on the jet sweep, gets outside the numbers, gets a first down and more inside the Iowa Colony 40 to the 37-yard line.
Well, they're getting that running game going, and that's what they needed. Another first down for the Buffs inside the Iowa Colony 40.
Jarvis Solomon makes yet another play.
You mentioned him earlier, a guy all over the floor, all over the field. Outside linebacker.
3 receivers to the right for Marshall on 1st and 10 from the 37, and the jet sweep coming to the near side. Dejon Taylor makes a move, gets inside the 30 to the 27, and then he is hit hard and pushed backward. And that is Jarvis Solomon who made the play, and yep, it is a 10-yard pickup and a first down.
That jet sweep, boy, there's a lot of room out there for the Buffaloes. Let's be interested to see if the Pioneers make an adjustment on that.
A pair of receivers to either side, but Caden Johnson keeps it, and he kind of goes airborne and tumbles down near the 20, and that was Henry Kalu. You know, there's so many guys in Fort Bend County and I guess Brazoria County named Kalu, who are either sons of N.D. Kalu or cousins of his sons. You know, the former Texan.
Yes.
And a handoff going left. Let's see, who did they hand it to that time?
It is number 6.
It is Peyton Long, the little one.
Look a little short of the first down, but let's see where they're going to mark it here. He's pretty close.
Yeah, he only needed, I guess I said it was a first down on the previous play. It was actually second down and less than 1, and they stopped Long just then for no gain, so it's 3rd and less than a yard. Caden Johnson, I bet he keeps it. He does keep it, going to the right side, bouncing outside, inside the 15, gets near the sideline, and he's got a first down just outside the 10-yard line, it looks like. So it is not first and goal, but it might as well be almost.
Well, I think it's going to be first and goal if it's marked at the 10.
He moved his foot, that's why. The foot was outside the 10, now he's right on the 10.
I think it's first and goal officially here. Good drive so far. Let's see if we can cap it off.
And there is Darrell Taylor zigging and zagging, gets to about the 5, and then they stack him up.
Yeah, that hole closed up pretty quick for Taylor that time. He was able to pick up 4. Second goal from the 6.
Henry Kalu making yet another tackle for Iowa Colony. It's second down and goal from just outside the 5. In fact, they put it at the 6.
The Buffaloes are huddling. I think it's their first huddle of the game.
And we are in the final minute of this first quarter. It is 14-0 Iowa Colony, but the Buffs on the march and looking like they're moving inexorably to the end zone. Caden Johnson hands it up the middle. Peyton Long fighting and into the end zone. A touchdown from 6 yards out for Peyton Long, and the Buffs can cut the lead in half with a successful extra point kick.
The way that Buffalo's moved the ball down the field in that position, if they can make a stop or two, there's nothing going to stop the Buffalo's running game. They really look good on that particular series.
By the way, Tamir Williams is the kicker for the Buffs. I incorrectly identified him as Diaz earlier, but it is Tamir Williams, and he gets it just inside the left upright. That narrows it to 14-7. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Professional volleyball is coming to Houston this January, featuring Olympic medalists Misha Hancock and Jordan Thompson. Love Houston Volleyball is Houston's newest professional team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars. With the action kicking off on January 9th, visit lovb.com for more information and tickets for Love Houston matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
Okay, Buffs fans, we'll have more VypeFortBend.com coverage for you later today. Fulcher against Atascocita in Class 6A Division I third-round playoff. And then tomorrow, it is Randall and Brenham, 2 o'clock kickoff from Waller. Tamir Williams with the kick. It comes down to about the 10-yard line and back toward the middle of the field. It is Jaden Warren, and he's in the open, 45-50, near sideline. One man to beat, going down the sideline. Do you see any flags, Patrick?
No, I do not see a flag.
It's a touchdown on the kickoff return from Jaden Warren, who can hurt you catching the football. He can hurt you catching a kickoff, obviously.
Well, you told me about him earlier. You said, watch him. He's a big play man, and boy, did he make a big play there. The only question on the last part of that was, did he stay in bounds? And he did stay in bounds. There were no flags. And you could just see it from up here, Roger. You could just see everything open up for him on that. Once he found the seam, he was gone.
90-yard kickoff return. And what a counterpunch by the Pioneers. So they go from up 14-7 to 21-7, and they get it done before the first quarter expires. So let's just stay right here.
28 points here in the first quarter. It's been a bundle of offense so far, mostly by Iowa Colony, unfortunately, for the Buffaloes. But, boy, what a play that was. You talk about a response, huh? Within 10 seconds, they got that 14-point lead again.
Well, I think about what happened back on October the 26th, and the Buffs really let one get away from them in the fourth quarter.
What was the score at that time?
Well, the Buffs were ahead until I believe it was 35-34, and then Jaden Warren got loose on a touchdown, and then there was either a pick six or a scoop and score right after that made the final 35-21.
So it was close. Buffs up by one, and then.
But what I'm thinking is, they let one get away in the fourth quarter when they met Iowa Colony the first time, and they may be letting one get away here in the first quarter.
Well, right now, it has gotten a little bit away from them. That last drive for the Buffaloes was outstanding, but now they got to go back to work.
Yeah, it's almost like all the good work goes for naught.
Yeah, pretty much score-wise, it's still a 14-point game.
The Taylor brothers back to receive this kickoff. Andy Cruz has it teed up at the 40.
Yeah, the kickoff return, what's interesting when they do total yards, they don't put that in the total yards, so it's kind of a hidden statistic.
And it's a low kick, and it bounces a couple of times. Darrell Taylor picks it up at the 4, straight up between the hash marks. Doesn't even get to the 20. What great kick coverage by Iowa Colony. The first one to hit him was Bejan Dupati.
There was about 3 or 4 of them all set, ready to make that tackle. And like you said, Roger, they didn't even get to the 20. They're going to mark it. Where is he going to mark it? 18-yard line, maybe?
Yep, and I talked about Andy Cruz. It's not really sexy to talk about kickers and touchbacks and keeping it inside the 20. But every time he's kicked off, it's either been, well, I think maybe one time the Buffs got it across the 20.
That's a valuable weapon.
But it's touchbacks, and just like that, they make the tackle inside the 20 on the kick coverage. Caden Johnson throws it to the near side. He was looking for Andre Feast, and that could have been a pick six. And it was Solomon who read it like a book and almost grabbed it and was going to be heading down the near sideline.
You might have heard me when you were calling that one, Roger, because it looked like it was a pick six. Boy,
you were anticipating the pain, right?
I was feeling the pain early, and
Gerald.
And we can really see it up here. Everything is just so open for us to watch. 9 seconds last, could be the last play of the quarter.
That's our good friend Gerald Sanchez, who let him in. All right, play action pass. Caden Johnson rolling right, under pressure, throws it, and it's almost picked off. He got it to, I think that, I got to get out the binoculars.
0, I believe.
Okay, that's Darrell Taylor.
Yeah.
So kind of threw it behind him, and after it bounced off his shoulder pads, there was an opportunity for an interception for, Kalen Simmons.
Just got a question for you, Roger. I don't want to be, I don't want to be the guy who questions things, but I am questioning. You know, that last drive, they never stopped him once on the run. And it just seems like, let's just keep pounding that ball, and they'd come out here throwing 2 passes in a row. Maybe to just throw them off, maybe. But it's come back to haunt the Buffaloes.
3rd down and 10. Plenty of time for Johnson. Now he moves to the right, looking down the field, directing traffic, runs it, fights, first down.
What a play. That little pump fake. He was motioning for somebody to go deep, and it made the defender come off him, and he was able to run for a first down. I think that's the last play of the quarter, and Rodgers looking for something down there.
I just wanted to get the tackler, and it is Christopher Johnson, a very mobile linebacker who chased down Caden Johnson. But you're right, it is the end of the quarter, and it is 21-7, Iowa Colony on top of Marshall.
A great play by Caden Johnson on that last play. Let's go.
And it was, he saw the whole field. Very, very outstanding vision by Caden. And we'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Be the first to know. Sign up for the First Tire and Automotive email updates and be the first to hear about exclusive promotions and special offers. Plus, get a $10 off coupon for your next service just for joining. First Tire and Automotive always treats you like family and puts you first. $15 off your next battery purchase and $75 off service totaling $500 or more. Head to the website for even more specials and to set your appointment. FirstTireandAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive's 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. FirstTireandAuto.com.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, we got you covered. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity Internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us with an unlimited Plus line. Plus, get Xfinity Gigabit Internet with free Wi-Fi equipment for only $25 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add unlimited mobile. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual internet speeds and data thresholds may vary.
On the first play of the second quarter, Peyton Long carried for Marshall, gained a scant 3 yards. So it's second down and a long 7. Caden Johnson in the shotgun. Moving left to right in the second quarter are the Buffs. Johnson running right, gets outside the number, stiff arms a man. He's wrestled out, gets to the 37. That's a pickup of 4. And they mark him at the 38, so that's good.
Chandler Love made a nice tackle there. I don't know if I'd want to take on that big Johnson, Caden Johnson. And he made a nice tackle for Iowa Colony, but the Buffaloes are in good shape, 3rd and 2 here.
But it's, they're down by 14, 21-7. Running to the left, Jacaden Ferguson took the direct snap, and he got about 1 when he needed 2, so it's going to be 4th and 1 coming up.
From your own 38.
I don't know if you want to
That's tough.
Risk it right here, but then on the other hand, your defense has not stopped Iowa Colony yet.
I'm with you, Roger. This is part of the thinking might be, hey, if we punt it, they've been driving the ball anyway, so what's the difference? From the 38 or from wherever else they get the ball. So they are looking like they're going to go for it. Marshall's huddling, and they got about a yard to go. What about just keeping the ball in Johnson's hands here?
No wideouts, bunch formation. There goes Peyton Long up the first down and more. Across the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, and he is hit and wrestled out at about the 16-yard line. Big play for the Buffs.
I hope I didn't interrupt you there, Roger, but once he found the seam, like a lot of times on those short plays, where you find the seam, there's nobody else there, and he's able to outrun the defense until the very end of the play here. Number 2 was able to come in there. That's Love.
That looked kind of like 50 gut. The play that the Redskins ran in Super Bowl 17 to clinch it. John Riggins, running through the Dolphins over on the left side.
That was one that's always replayed on the highlights.
1st and 10 from the 16. And movement on the right side of the Marshall line. That'll back them up 5.
Well, it's interesting. The middle guard there, the nose tackle, I can't tell if it's number 51 or 53. He was pointing. I believe it's Sweeney for the Iowa Colony.
I think we pronounce it Sweeney.
But anyway, he was pointing, like somebody moved, and then finally a couple guys did move, or at least we saw them move. Anyway, 1st and 15 for the Buffaloes. Now, was that the Washington Redskins or the Washington Commanders?
Then it was the Redskins.
Can we still say it?
Yes, we can. First down and 15. Here's a fake to Darrell Taylor, and Caden Johnson on the play action finds Jordan Simmons. Touchdown, Buffs! They swung him out into the right side, and he got a great clearing block from Jakyron Edmonds, who said that wide receivers don't block for each other. Jordan Simmons, who was he scored the only touchdown that the Buffs scored during the competitive part of their game against Randall. And look at him. We're looking at the video board. I'm telling my listeners.
Yeah, we get to have replay and everything here tonight, or this morning. I'm all confused.
And now there's a whistle.
I think there might have been motion again, Roger, against the offense.
Well, that shouldn't do any harm. Tamir Williams.
You mentioned the block by Edmonds there. I want to tell you what he did. He just stood there.
He just got in the way.
He just got in the way. He did. It doesn't have to be magical. It just has to be good position football, and that's what he did. And he got in the way, and then the rest was history as Simmons went into the end zone. Here's the extra point.
Like setting a pick in basketball, Tamir Williams. It is right down the middle. The extra point is good to make it 21-14, and the Buffs will kick off to Iowa Colony when we return on VypeFortBend.com.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We're back here at NRG. Roger, what's interesting, if I could say something before we start, Iowa Colony came out, hit him in the mouth, and now Marshall's saying, we're not going anywhere, right?
Yes.
They're within 7 again.
And while the Marshall offense was getting their second touchdown, Toyus Rainey, he's the defensive coordinator and assistant head coach for the Buffs, had to be coming up with some new ideas on defense, and it's a little pop-up kick in a very short one that comes down at the 34-yard line. Fair caught right there. I guess it's okay to say that, right?
Yes.
Fair caught. Kalen Simmons.
What's interesting about that one, Roger, was you see those short pooch kind of kicks go to the side, right or left. That was right down the middle, which was a little bit surprising. Maybe they were trying to surprise him, but they didn't want to kick it deep, did they? They didn't want to kick it to Warren.
Yeah, that proved to be
probably a smart move to not kick it deep.
Disappointing for the Buffs last time.
Yes.
All right, Carson White sends a man in motion. That's Jacody Miles. And he hands it off straight up the middle. There goes Tenor, bounces it outside and gets pretty much nothing.
Good play there by sealing the edge, number 16. That is Pelican. He did a great job. He got help from his teammates to make the tackle, but he held the edge, and number 17 was in there to help out there, DeCedric Brown.
You know, I think it's Dektrick as in electric.
Dektrick, I'm sorry.
But it is kind of an unusual name.
Dektrick. Well, that's the worst play of the game so far for the Pioneers. No gain.
2nd down and 10. 4-man front for the Buffs. Fake handoff. Carson White throws over the middle, and the ball is bobbled and dropped. And that's the second time that Jacody Miles has dropped a pass when he was open, and that could have gone for big yardage. Just a little West Coast offense slant.
Roger had it right. It hit him right where he needed to be hit, and he would have, well, it would have been a 30-yard gain for sure, and who knows how much further. He was, boy, quarterback that time had to put that ball right where he had to put it, and as a quarterback, you have to just kind of let that kind of stuff go, I guess, because it happens once in a while.
3rd down and 10. Big opportunity for the Buffs. Can they get a stop? Before they get the play, we get a pre-snap whistle.
I think it's a timeout Buffaloes, Roger. They didn't like what they saw defensively. And
I think that might be a very well-spent timeout.
I think so, yeah.
So we'll keep it right here. And something I want to tell everybody about, we got a halftime guest. We're here in we're in a major league stadium.
Yeah. Tell us.
Why not have Daniel Gotera, who has been a major league type, sports journalist for KHOU Channel 11, sports reporter and anchor for many years.
That's awesome.
But now he is working with the Harris County Houston Sports Authority, and it's an organization that hopefully will prevent some of the pain that we have gone through.
No kidding.
Where we lose franchises when the Tennessee Titans go running off somewhere else.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. Back to the action, Roger. At one point, the total yards was 111 for Iowa Colony to 4 for the Buffs. 111 to 4. Now it's 167 Buffs, 111 Iowa Colony. The only thing that's not on that board is that kickoff return, which is basically the difference of the ballgame. But look at the rush yards. Buffalo's 144 rushing yards so far, and we haven't even hit halfway through the second quarter.
And you did a great job compiling those stats. Outstanding work. I don't know why you're laughing, Patrick. 3rd down and 10. Carson White surveying the defense, drops straight back, looks over to his right, steps up, throws far sideline, back shoulder throw, incomplete. And that was outstanding coverage.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in on this guy.
22, is it?
Yeah, it sure is, and that is Miles Ratcliffe.
Perfect coverage. And really, I was watching that play, and I thought, White had a chance to just run for the first down. Looked like there was a lot of room for him to run, and he opted to go deep where the coverage was blanketed there.
Jaden Warren was the intended receiver.
And Ratcliffe was all over him.
Even if he hadn't made a great defensive play, the ball was just out of bounds. Could not be caught.
Yeah, no way to even catch that ball. Well, here the Buffaloes now with a chance to tie this ball game, Roger.
First time Andy Cruz has punted, but before he gets the punt off, we got a flag.
Delay a game.
And it was thrown by the official who is back behind the punt returner.
He watches the play clock. He's got a good view of the play clock, and he's the guy who throws the delay a game flag, which sometimes makes you wonder how that can happen on a play like that. But 5 yards against Iowa Colony.
And it's the Taylor brothers back there in twin safety. Both are capable of breaking a big return.
Good kick.
And it is Dejon Taylor, fair catch called for and made it to 26. Ooh. That's a great punt. My goodness.
And a great catch. I mean, he had to kind of go over his shoulder. I was a little afraid that he was making that catch because it was a tough catch for him, but a great punt. Rogers measuring the punt.
45-yard punt.
And a beautiful spiral.
Oh, yeah. Just Andy Cruz has a future.
Yeah.
Not some colleges do give scholarships to kickers and punters, and some do not, but I think he's going to be worthy of somebody's scholarship. But he's not the best kicker in the district.
Really?
We know who that is. Christian Munguia of the Randall Lions.
There you go. Well, here they are, the Buffaloes, with a chance here to tie this thing up.
All right, 21-14, they trail as they take the football, and they marked the fair catch, marked him at the 28. So it's 1st and 10 from there, pistol formation. Long behind Johnson, they give it to Peyton Long, and the hole closes quickly. He gets 2, maybe 3 yards, and he was buried by Chandler Love, who it'd be great if he's going to be a pre-med major and he could someday be Dr. Love.
Roger, they added a yard to the measure, to the marking.
Okay,
so
they gave him 4
yards, and
we'll take it.
I'll tell you what, the Buffaloes are really owning the line of scrimmage here ever since the first drive they had.
They've shown a lot of poise.
They sure have.
Not panicking. Dejon Taylor on the reverse going left. Outside the numbers. Gets the first down, and he gets near the 40. And it was an unusual looking tackle, but I don't see a flag. Do you?
No, I don't. It looked like he took him down by the helmet. And even if you take him down by the back of the helmet, I think they can call a face mask or an illegal tackle or whatever. I don't know what they would call that. But you can't tackle. You can't put your finger in the hole by the ears or behind the helmet. Anyway, no call. First down, though, for the Buffs.
And the tackler was Kalen Simmons, who did not play, as far as I know, the first time these two teams played. Dejon Taylor going left, just gets about 2. It was kind of a slow developing play, as it kind of looked like an option, but no one was coming up to take Caden Johnson. So he said, here, you take it. And it's just a 2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8.
It wasn't a quick pitch, and it looked like he kind of hesitated before he pitched it to him. I'm not sure if there was a confusion on that or not, but it looked a little confusing. 2nd and 9 now.
I think it would be effective. You start a run to the left and then bootleg Johnson back to the near side, and then you have Andre Feast and Jacaden Ferguson, but they run it up the middle. Peyton Long hit near the line of scrimmage, gained 1, maybe, and then they pushed him back, and there is the guy that impressed me so much the first time these two teams met, Hayden Caston, outside linebacker. He was the leading tackler, I think, on the team at the time, and he probably is now. 3rd and 6 coming up.
Now Iowa Colony has to start wondering, can we stop Marshall? And it's a big opportunity for them on 3rd and 6.
Getting to the halfway point of the second quarter, 21-14, Iowa Colony leads Marshall. Caden Johnson claps his hands, gives it off to Jordan Simmons. Jet sweep going left, first down. Gets across the 50 to about the 47, and a flag comes in because there's a face mask infraction, and it's the guy I've been bragging on, Hayden Caston, who grabbed Jordan Simmons' face mask.
Either that or it was just a late hit, because he had him out of bounds and then he flung him down, and that you can't do that on the field at all. Here's James Kelly calling targeting. He called targeting? I didn't see that one.
You know, it's kind of hard to understand the officials' calls inside NRG Stadium because it's so massive in here, and the ball kind of the sound bounces off of the many hard surfaces.
Well, bottom line is it's a 15-yard penalty. He signaled targeting, which I didn't see it that way, but
I thought he might have kind of reached back like it was a horse collar signal.
Maybe that's what he had done. Bottom line is a 15-yard penalty. It takes him to the 33-yard line.
Empty backfield. Caden Johnson, 3 receivers on the near side. He's going to keep it. Gets up to where the linebackers are and dives down to the 26-yard line.
I really like that. I mean, they're not stopping him. Just keep pounding them. You know, that big offensive line for the Buffaloes, they got some big linemen, and I'm talking on the bottom half of their body, which means they're strong.
So it's
legs.
All about that base?
It's about the base. They are really big fellows.
7-yard gain, 2nd down and 3. Again, same formation. They spread all the defenders out across the field, and they keep it again. Caden Johnson, this play not as productive. Gains 1, maybe 2 to the 24, and I think we're going to have a 3rd and 1 coming up.
Yeah, depending on where they mark it. Yep, 3rd and 1. So I think
the guy on the far side was in a different spot from the guy on the near side.
It's hard. And then sometimes you look at the guy with the marker. He might be a little bit off. So sometimes maybe we should just not say it until they actually put the ball down on the ground. I know I like to make the call a little early too.
We gotta say how many yards it is right when it's over if we possibly can.
I know what you're saying.
But then they amend it. Okay, there goes Darrell Taylor running left, and he hesitated and got hit. Caston dropped him for a no-gainer, and it's going to be 4th and 1. If he had just kept going, I think he might have made it.
He might have given it to him. Look where they're marking that ball, Roger.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
They give it to him.
They signal first down.
I didn't think.
Again, we'll take it. We're looking at this through gold and black colored glasses.
I didn't think he was.
But there's no way he made it.
And it's interesting. We do have such an interesting view here from what we're used to because we're so much higher up. But they see it a little bit differently. And like you said, Roger, first down, that's okay.
Oh yeah, it's the ball is at the 23, and the Buffs are marching. They're on the far hash mark, moving left to right. Fake handoff. Johnson drops back, and he is sacked. Caston came in and got him. And if he hadn't gotten him, then it was going to be Christopher Johnson. They were both thinking, okay, which one of us wants a sack the worst?
And I think, to be honest with you, Caden Johnson kind of stumbled before the sack was even made. He was kind of going down before they even made the contact. But maybe he stumbled because he was being pressured. It's second down and 17 yards to go.
And by the way, the Buffs have 201 yards now, and total yards. That's total yards, and Iowa Colony only with 111 because they didn't count the long kickoff return by Jaden Warren. And now a whistle prior to the snap. No timeout. It's not going to be a penalty. A timeout called by the Buffs. We'll take it with them on VypeFortBend.com.
Be the first to know. Sign up for the First Tire and Automotive email updates and be the first to hear about exclusive promotions and special offers. Plus, get a $10 off coupon for your next service just for joining. First Tire and Automotive always treats you like family and puts you first. $15 off your next battery purchase and $75 off service totaling $500 or more. Head to the website for even more specials and to set your appointment. FirstTireandAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive's 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. FirstTireandAuto.com.
Mark your calendars. Professional volleyball is coming to Houston in January 2025. Led by Houston's newest pro team, Love Houston Volleyball. Get ready for non-stop action as some of the world's best players take the court. Featuring Olympic medalists Misha Hancock and Jordan Thompson. Love Houston is ready to compete for the season's first championship title. Get your tickets now for this historic first season. Visit lovb.com today. Volleyball is the next major league.
The Buffs on second and long, a pass over the middle. Dejon Taylor, a diving attempt, and Caden Johnson overthrew him near the 15-yard line.
Johnson had to step up in the pocket. He was pressured a little bit there, which forced perhaps throwing the ball a little bit sooner than he wanted to. But I'll tell you what, Taylor was open at about the 15-yard line.
Third down and 17 coming up for the Buffs. Definitely 4-down territory. They are down 21-14 and here in the second quarter. And you've got 3:13 to go in the half. Daniel Gotero will be our halftime guest. 3-man defensive front for Iowa Colony. Johnson, play action pass. Plenty of time. Hit from behind. He just couldn't find anybody, and he got sacked. My goodness. Kenneth James hit him hard. He didn't even know he was coming.
Yeah, he came from the blind side. And on plays like that, I'm just impressed that quarterbacks can hang on to the ball. I mean, he hung on to it. It's 4th down from the 34. Are they still going to go for it, Roger?
They got to. I mean, it's no man's land. I guess you could punt it.
I think they're going to punt it.
Yeah.
And at least force Iowa Colony to go perhaps the length of the field or most of the length of the field.
Could they have something in the bag here?
Well, let's find out.
You got Andre Feast as the blocker. You know, they could snap it to him.
Well, Well, they got 20 yards to go, though, so that's the problem.
Timeout taken. A delay of game by Marshall. They were happy to take that.
Yeah.
And now Tamir Williams, their punter, can just swing his leg freely.
And that probably takes away the stamps home that there probably will not be a fake.
So 39-yard line.
Nobody even deep
Good
for
snap.
Iowa Colony.
That's right. And it's a high punt. He should have punted it deeper than that, and it bounces near the 20, but he gets a good bounce inside the 10, and it dies at the 7-yard line.
Good thing
That ends up being a very effective punt. Micah Roseborough picked up the football and gave it to the official so that no one could run it back.
So Buffalo did a good job of moving the ball, and then they, I think, what did they have? They had a 5-yard penalty, or was it a sack that got them kind of off track there?
Well, let's see, how did they end up with a 2nd down and 17? Were there 2 sacks on that series?
I think they had, well,
yeah,
they had
2 sacks.
2 sacks for sure. Well, anyway, Iowa Colony now has to go 93 yards if they're going to make score any more touchdowns here at the half.
I might not be a smart man, but that's a long way. Carson White hands it up the middle. Tenor, look out! Bakes outside the 20, 25, 30, back toward the middle. And he got the Pioneers out of a deep hole very quickly. The run that started at the 7 goes to the 37, a 30-yard pickup.
Well,
correction, 25-yard pickup to the 32.
You want to make something happen, you make a play like that, and now you're in business.
And Tenor's a freshman.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding. And they toss it to him on the near side. Gets to the 35 in a big collision. Man, he just button heads with Lonnie B. Fegans, and it's a 3-yard pickup to the 35, 2nd and 7. Iowa Colony kind of picking up the pace here.
They have all 3 timeouts as well.
1:22 to go, and the clock ticking down. Tenor goes in motion, empty backfield for Carson White. Stands strong, steps up, and throws near sideline. Wide open. Going to be a gain to the 45-yard line. Antoine Martin was uncovered, and he just tight-roped the sideline until a tackler came, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Iowa Colony from the Marshall 44. This is crucial. It's 21-14 Iowa Colony. If Marshall goes into the halftime locker room, knows they're going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, and they're only down 7, that's very encouraging, but you don't want to go down by 14. White, play action pass, heaving it deep down the field, and it is incomplete, but it's going to be defensive pass interference. You know, it's a shame. Jaden Warren was open, but the ball was underthrown. Yes. It was not going to be a completion, and as a result, Miles Ratcliffe kind of ran into Jaden Warren, and that'll be a 15-yard penalty.
It was definitely an interference play. It's a good call on him. If the pass had been where it should have been, it would have been an easy touchdown. But, boy, I tell you what, how quickly did they move from the 7 all the way down here to the inside the 20. They're in business. They got a minute left to play here in the half, and they still got 3 timeouts. They don't even have to be in a hurry right now.
The penalty moves the ball to the 29-yard line, and Iowa Colony doesn't have to worry about time so much now. There's a minute 1 left, and they have a timeout that they can use if need be.
The only thing they want to do is maybe not leave any time for Marshall.
You know what? They've got 3 timeouts if they need them.
Yeah, they got 3.
Carson White dropping back, steps up, throws over the middle, behind his receiver, incomplete. He was trying to deliver it to Ian Hill, and it's incomplete. 2nd down and 10 from the 29.
Well, it's that time of the half where both bands are exiting the stands and getting ready for their performances.
You know, Patrick, I always love the matchups in the games. We have an opportunity to broadcast on Thanksgiving week, but it is hard to get in touch with people. Nobody's in their office. Carson White hands it off. Tenor hit in the backfield. Dropped in his tracks for a loss of 2.
It's like Davis was in on one of the men.
So you got to see who gets up. It's Dick Brown. And now Iowa Colony takes one of its timeouts. When we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 12? Yeah, it sure will. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, we got you covered. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
I'm sorry, we got to bail on that commercial because the teams are already out there and lined up and ready to go on 3rd and 12. Iowa Colony from the Marshall 31. Tenor goes in motion. Carson White stepping up, and he throws across the middle, and it's incomplete. I'm not sure whether he was going for the short man, Jaden Warren, or if he was looking for Ian Hill, who was inside the 10-yard line.
It was hard to tell. It kind of was in between the two of them, and they're going to bring the kicker out for a 48-yard attempt here.
All right, Andy Cruz will kick it, and you know what? If I were the Buffs, I'd put someone in front of the goalpost.
Yeah, they're not.
He could run a kick six.
Yeah,
it's going to be a 48-yard attempt.
Now a
and the Buffs call a timeout, and I'll bet that's what they're going to do.
They might.
I'll bet they'll tell Darrell Taylor or someone, or Dejan, one of the Taylor brothers.
Yeah.
Put him back there in front of the goalpost, and if it comes up short, then you do what you can. You know, you can. It's one of those, it's very hard to organize kick coverage on a field goal that comes up short.
Right.
Just ask the Alabama Crimson Tide.
You don't practice that, so you might as well put somebody deep, as you said. Let's see if they do. They're still huddling there over there on the far side.
You know, if I'd known they were going to call that timeout, I could have gone ahead and run the whole commercial.
Yeah, but they're not putting anybody deep, Roger. They didn't follow your advice there.
You know, they might be just saying expect a fake because Jacody Miles, who's a receiver, is the holder. But he does put the ball down, and Cruz is going to come up short.
Yeah, somebody
just about 10 yards short.
Somebody down there could have received that, and Roger, you might have been right on that. They've been good to put somebody down there. However, they get good field position with 40 seconds to play. However, the Buffs do not have a timeout left. Let's see how aggressive they are here.
Yeah, Dejan or Darrell Taylor could be standing in the end zone celebrating right now if they had just decided to grab that kick and run in a southerly direction.
One thing for sure, unless something strange happens here in the last 40 seconds, the Buffaloes will be going into the halftime feeling pretty good about themselves with the ball in their hands starting the second half. If they only trail by 7, remember it was 14-0 at one time. And
yeah.
It was also 21-7.
Now they could feel ecstatic about themselves if they bust one here.
Right.
With 40 seconds to go. Jacaden Ferguson running left after faking a reverse, and a flag comes in.
Yeah.
He gets a gain to the 40, but I have a feeling there'll be some kind of illegal blindside block against Marshall.
It was a hold. They held on the edge there, and all of the Iowa Colony Pioneer fans made that call. I don't know if you heard it or not, but and I could see it from up here. That's what sprung Johnson. There was the hold on the edge there.
Well, in this huge NFL venue,
right,
it's kind of hard to tell sometimes where the sound is coming from.
Yes.
I mean, when you're at a high school stadium, you kind of know.
Exactly.
It's coming from this side or the other side.
It's also hard to know how big of a crowd we have here. It looks pretty good from both sides, but they're all spread out.
All right, there is a give to Darrell Taylor. He breaks the tackle near the line of scrimmage. I think the Buffs are more than happy to head for the locker room as we've got 22 seconds to go in the half. They are lining up to run one more play. Maybe they'll try to get something here.
I think they're going to let it go, Kerr. I don't think they're going to run into play here.
Nobody has their hand on the ground.
Nope.
So you're probably right.
They're all looking toward the sidelines. 5 seconds. Nobody's in position.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Daniel Gotera joins us when we come back. Our halftime score, Iowa Colony 21 and the Buffs 14. Marshall really showing great poise after falling behind 14-0 early. And they'll get the ball when we start the third quarter. Daniel Gotera is next on VypeFortBend.com.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, we got you covered. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us with an unlimited plus line. Plus, get Xfinity Gigabit Internet with free Wi-Fi equipment for only $25 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add unlimited mobile. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual internet speeds and data thresholds may vary.
Welcome to halftime on VypeFortBend.com. Glad to have you with us. And it's a great opportunity here to talk to our old friend Daniel Gotera. I'm sure you remember him as a sports reporter and anchor at KHOU Channel 11. Now he's with the Harris County Houston Sports Authority. Daniel, welcome in and tell us about your role.
Well, thanks for having me, Roger. Appreciate it. Always enjoy the work that you guys do at Vype and all the high school coverage that you do. It's really valuable, right? Because I think a lot of people are passionate about it and they just need access to it. So this is good stuff. So thanks for having me on. I am a communications director here at the Harris County Houston Sports Authority, and we do a bunch of stuff for the community when it comes to sports engagement with the city of Houston and in Harris County. And it allowed me to transition from Channel 11 to come to the Houston Sports Authority and still be involved in sports. I run the Hall of Fame for us, the Houston Sports Hall of Fame. I do stuff for the Sports Awards. So a little bit of everything to stay engaged.
Outstanding. So I remember back when I was a teenager, and that was a long time ago, like Carter administration, long time ago. But there was a Houston Sports Authority at the time then, and I remember vaguely a man's name, Sidney Schlenker. Does that name ring any bell with you, or have there been many changes in leadership of the Harris County Houston Sports Authority?
So this iteration of the Harris County Houston Sports Authority was started after the Oilers left town in the late or mid 90s, and then there was some rumblings that the Astros and the Rockets wanted new stadiums and they were possibly leaving. So the city and county government got together and they decided to form this entity in the late 90s to make sure that our professional sports teams are taken care of and the stadiums are built and the taxpayers were able to fund that as well. So this iteration started then. That's a name that I'm not too familiar with, but I appreciate your memory on it.
Well, maybe you shouldn't appreciate my memory because it might be a little bit inaccurate. That might have been some other kind of entity that might have had the word authority in its name, but it may not have any connection to where you are now.
Well, yeah, I don't think it does, but there's always been that need to fulfill that sports appetite right here in town, and that's why we're here, and we want to make sure everyone is happy and all the teams are satisfied.
Absolutely. I mean, I know the heartache of teams leaving, so anything you can do to bring great events here and make sure the teams stay, that's a good thing. All right, so you did such great work at KHOU Channel 11, but there was something kind of outside of what you did on air, this documentary about Marshall Buffs football called The Program. And I wondered, first of all, have you done work on any other such film, or was that the only film that you produced?
So, yeah, while I was at Channel 11, I had the idea to do something outside of the normal news realm, right? Because I think there is a little bit of a need for that type of content, sports content that just kind of dives deeper into sports stories, into communities. So I came up with the idea of The Program. We did 4 episodes while I was at Channel 11, actually. We did Marshall, we did North Shore, we did Pearland, and then we did Santa Fe after the school shooting. for their first football game after the shooting happened down there in Santa Fe. So it was a great series. I loved everything about it. Coach James Williams down at Marshall is one of my favorites. Lloyd Banks, the whole crew down there at Marshall, I love. I'm always going to have a special place in my heart for those folks because they really opened up the doors. So when you do shows like that, you really have to have the trust of the coaching staffs and of the players that will take care of them. And we did. We put microphones on all of them. You saw the show, and it was a great time that we had with Marshall. But ever since I left Channel 11, now that I've joined the Sports Authority, we did do a documentary on Andre Johnson going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which was really cool. We got to go to Canton with him, and we put a whole documentary on it, and it's airing right now on Space City Home Network.
That's outstanding. I just love the opportunity to shine the light on great accomplishments and especially great people like Andre Johnson, and I love James Williams and Lloyd Banks, and they've done such great things for Marshall. So that was a wonderful thing in every way except for one, and I know you'll take this in the lighthearted way that it's intended. It was 2021, and the Buffs had been to the state championship game the previous 2 years. And then after you did the program documentary, they lost to Barbers Hill in the first round of the playoffs. Did any grief about that somehow get back to you?
Oh, I know. I did get teased about it. I was like, what did you do to us? You kind of cursed us a little bit. I know. It was crazy. Pearland, the same thing happened to them. They, that year when we did Pearland's documentary, Tony Heath stepped down. And so they had a really kind of a crazy year when we joined us. So I felt like that was kind of following us, and I felt bad there for our last one for Marshall, but they kind of took it in stride. That was a great Marshall team, but Barbers Hill was pretty solid too.
And by the way, back in 2010 when Pearland defeated Euless Trinity, I think that was, I don't know why, but it was my favorite state championship game where a Houston team, beat someone from the DF Dub. There have been a few others, but that one just stuck with me, and I like Tony Heath. I could talk to him for hours. All right, let's take a quick break. We're talking to Daniel Gotera, formerly of KHOU Channel 11, but now with the Harris County Houston Sports Authority. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com.
Leanetti Graphics, the gold standard in Fort Bend County for screen printing, embroidery, banners, signs, t-shirts, and all kinds of specialty items. Whatever you need to advertise or show school spirit, team spirit, or company spirit, nobody does it better than Leanetti Graphics. We started creating our products in an apartment 23 years ago, and now our state-of-the-art facility in Stafford has everything to make your vision come true. Call your friends at Leanetti Graphics, 281-499-4959. Leanetti Graphics, the official banner provider for VypeFortBend.com.
Welcome back to halftime on VypeFortBend.com. We got playoff football today, and we're talking with Daniel Gotera of Harris County Houston Sports Authority. And Daniel, a lot of people, I'm probably one of them. I'm definitely one of them. They probably don't know exactly what the HSA does. You kind of described that earlier. You want to make sure that the sports franchises stay here. And I know that Houston gets Final Fours, they get Super Bowls, they get international soccer events. So is there anything else that the Sports Authority does?
Yeah, I mean, those are our two big responsibilities. First and foremost is obviously maintaining the sports venues that we do own, as in Toyota Center, Minute Maid Park, Shell Energy Stadium, and even the rugby stadium as well. So that's our first priority, maintain the stadiums, make sure that the tenant is happy with what's going on in there, and make sure that everything is running smoothly with that. And we also do some work down at NRG Park with the Texans, but that in and of itself is a separate entity, but we like to lend a helping hand there too. And then obviously sports marketing has been a huge focus of us over the last couple of years. We were able to bring the World Cup to town. That's coming up in about a year and a half now. And then the World Baseball Classic is coming up in 2026 as well. We have Junior Olympics that is coming to town next year. You mentioned the Final Fours, the Super Bowls, all that sort of stuff is coming to town. So we take all of that under our umbrella, and we're pretty proud of it.
Does every city in the United States that considers itself a major player for events like that and teams like that, do they have something like this, or is this something special that not everybody has?
Yeah, most cities have a sports commission. Dallas, Arlington area has a pretty strong sports commission as well. They've done a really nice job bringing things there too. LA, obviously with the Olympics going there in 2028. Kansas City has a strong one too. So yeah, most cities that are vying for some of these big international and national events has to have some organization. Now, our organization is a little different in the fact that we own the stadiums. So that gives us another layer of responsibilities. But yes, sports commissions are a very popular thing because they really help the city get on the map, so to speak, in the sports business.
Also, I'm going back and thinking, I think this happened before you got here. It was in the early 2000s when Houston really made a serious bid with the United States Olympic Committee to host, and then if you are the choice among the American cities, then you have to convince the International Olympic Committee that you're the place. And George DeMontrond worked on that, did such a great job. Of course, they rejected it. They decided to go with, I think it was San Francisco was their choice, but San Francisco didn't end up being the host when the Olympic Games came along. But George and the people that he was working with on that, after it was over and the committee said no, they said, is there anything we could have done better? We want to know what we can do next time and maybe get a yes. They said, no, your presentation was perfect. And the layout, the facilities, everything was perfect, which makes me think, why didn't you choose Houston? And I just kind of have that Houston inferiority complex. I'm thinking, why not us?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's pretty crazy now that I've been over here to kind of see the other side of the sports industry a little bit, just really how much it takes to go into some of these bids. Just recently we bid for that World Baseball Classic, which is going to be huge at Minute Maid Park in March. It's basically, really, that's the World Cup of baseball, right? You have the best players in the world playing here. We're going to have Team USA, Mexico. They're going to be here at Minute Maid. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere. But I didn't realize how much it went into that collaboration with the folks at Houston First, which run in the downtown district, and the Astros, and all that stuff rolled into one. So it's actually pretty impressive to see us all working together on that.
Yeah, and the local fans will be a little conflicted if Jose Altuve is playing for Venezuela. I said Valenzuela because I'm thinking about Fernando. Yes. We lost him.
Yep.
But if Jose is playing for Venezuela, they might root for Venezuela just because they love Jose so much if there are not enough Astros on the U.S. team.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But I think baseball has needed that for a long time, right? And it's gaining popularity. The last World Baseball Classic was huge. I remember being at a bar in Kansas City during the NCAA tournament. I was over there with U of H while I was still at Channel 11. And people were actually watching the World Baseball Classic on TV, which was never been seen before. So it comes at a perfect time that it's coming to Houston.
All right. Can you spend a couple more minutes with us?
Absolutely. Love this. I love being interviewed, by the way. I've done a lot of interviews, but I love being interviewed.
Well, I also like that I met you at a high school sports venue. I mean, you were out there covering it. And, sometimes not all of the local sports anchors will get out to the high school games. They'll just send the shooter. But you were out there. So good for you, Daniel. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com. Playoff football, it's halftime. We'll be back in a moment.
Professional volleyball is coming to Houston this January, featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson. Love Houston Volleyball is Houston's newest professional team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 9th. Visit LOVB.com for more information and tickets for Love Houston matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
We're talking with Daniel Gotera, who's been a Greater Houston resident for a long time. He was with KHOU Channel 11 Sports, and now he's with the Harris County Houston Sports Authority. And I just kind of wondered if the role that you're in now is something you maybe had an aspiration to do, or was there something that you were working toward in the sportscasting business? And I noticed, I think during your late in your time at KHOU, you also did some news anchoring. So how did this come up? And I'm sure you jumped on it very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, actually, while I was at Channel 11, it was a period of transition for me because, I had two little kids at home. You're right, I've been in Houston since 1992. So this is.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, this is home. I grew up here. I went to Cinco Ranch High School. And my wife is from Cy Falls High School, so I mean, this is home. This is where I wanted to be. I got back to Houston, worked at Channel 11 for a long time, but then I have 2 little kids. They're 7 and 4 years old. I wanted a better schedule. Sports brings you to work on the weekends all the time, and I didn't want to miss some of those things. So I did do a little bit of news there towards the end, but then I got a call from the Sports Authority and said, would you like to come in and do this role, be the producer of our Sports Awards show and be our director of communications? And I thought it was just the right time for me. Channel 11 was great. I did a lot of awesome things. I covered a lot of great events, met so many wonderful people, but I used all of that and transitioned here, and I think that's really helpful. So I didn't envision being in a role like this. You know, when you're in the TV world, in the media world, you feel like that's all you're ever going to do, because it's hard to really get past what you know and what's right in front of you, but then you kind of open yourself up to different things, and I've really enjoyed my time here.
All right, so I don't know why that in conversations we'd had, usually during weather delays at football games.
That's true.
But I remember you saying you went to Northwestern. Is that correct?
I went to Northwestern up in Chicago because I was born in Chicago and moved down here when I was 8 years old. And my dad went to Northwestern as well. And I hadn't realized, I had just been following Northwestern forever because my dad went there. And I didn't realize they had such a great journalism program. So when I really got into this whole journalism thing in high school, I applied to my dad's alma mater and I got in. And then I got the job down here in Houston after a stop in Sherman, Texas, where I was there for about 2.5, 3 years, covering high school sports, which is what I've always loved.
And as you speak to me right now, you're wearing the maroon hoodie that could be for Cinco Ranch. It was Sherman maroon. I've never seen them play.
They were maroon. Yep. Yeah, good job, Roger. Nice job. They are part of one of the oldest rivalries in the state of Texas.
What's
Sherman
the name of
Denison.
that
That rivalry is always huge up there for the Battle of the Axe, which is very passionate fan bases up there. So it was fun covering high school sports there, and then coming to Houston, which is obviously on a grander scale. So you get to see 2 different variations of it.
Yes, so the detestable Denison Yellow Jackets, right?
That's it. Yes. Yeah. Let's go with that. They have a new stadium up there. I haven't been in Sherman in a long time, but they've built up both of those programs a lot. Now I think they jumped classification from when I was there too. But that rivalry is long-standing.
All right. I'm sure you get a chance to meet a lot of athletes. Spencer Arrighetti, Cinco Ranch grad. Have you had a chance to converse with him?
I have not, actually. Not since he's been here. I haven't been, because my job here doesn't allow me to go to the games as much. I will say, now that I'm not in the media world, my wife and I do have tickets to the Texans game, so I still go every Sunday, but now as a fan. So now we're like big-time Texans fans. We're all in on it. I haven't talked to Spencer, though, but I'm happy for him that we've seen his rise through the organization.
By the way, something I should do, but I don't. I just spit out a name, but not everybody is a seam head and loves baseball. Spencer Arrighetti, Astros pitcher, great part of the staff this year, and he went to Cinco Ranch. So that's why I brought his name up. And we'll have one more quick visit. One other thing I want to ask Daniel Gotera. Glad you're with us on VypeFortBend.com.
Be the first to know. Sign up for the First Tire and Automotive email updates and be the first to hear about exclusive promotions and special offers. Plus, get a $10 off coupon for your next service just for joining. First Tire and Automotive always treats you like family and puts you first. $15 off your next battery purchase and $75 off service, totaling $500 or more. Head to the website for even more specials and to set your appointment. FirstTireandAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive's 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. FirstTireandAuto.com.
All right, we're back with Daniel Gotera. The third quarter is going to be coming soon, but I wanted to ask him something about high school sports. I can tell that you love your memories of going to high school venues, and I just wondered, do you sometimes, like a coach will watch a game, even if he's no longer coaching, and he'll kind of second guess and he'll see how things are done? Do you ever kind of watch the way they're presenting sports? Because it seems to me that the local station's sports segments are getting shorter and shorter. I have an appetite for more. And do you ever kind of look at them as an armchair quarterback?
Yeah, and it's sad in a way, because when you live in a city like Houston, when there's so much sports happening, it's really unfortunate that stations are only giving them about a minute and a half, and that was always been a point of contention with the folks in the industry. Now that I'm not in it, I can say that's something that we've always thought, no, we should get some more time. We're in the city of Houston. It's okay. It's like Dallas, right? We're a bigger city than Dallas, and they get a whole bunch of time for their sports up there. So, but I think that's just the media landscape as a whole. The local TV market is different, and it's not an easy time to be in the local TV market, but it's always changing. So that's why you have to come up with different programs, right? But yes, as an armchair quarterback, I do kind of sit and wish these guys had a little bit more time and can really expand their repertoire, because we have some really talented people still. I know there's been some changeover here recently. I know Matt Musil left right after me. Mark Berman left from Fox. So there has been some changeover for people that have been here for a long time, but we still have some good folks that need their time.
And by the way, I am continuing to pursue getting an interview with Matt Musil and one with Mark Berman, because, the stories they could tell.
Oh, absolutely. Those guys have been around for so long, and, I worked with Matt for, 15 years over there at Channel 11. He told me a bunch of good stuff, maybe some of them that he can't share, but some that he could share, and Mark as well. I mean, those guys are just an encyclopedia of Houston sports knowledge.
I think about Matt when it was the Love You Blue Oilers era, when you didn't have to hang back and only go into the terminal area of an airport if you didn't have a ticket. And in those days, teams actually traveled on a regular plane with seats next to civilians and stuff like that. And when the Oilers would come back from some of those playoff victories, it was insane. It was absolutely a fire marshal's nightmare, but so much enjoyment for those who got to see him come off the plane.
Yeah, absolutely. It just felt like, fans just felt a connection to these guys a little bit more so than they do now. But again, that goes back to the changing social media landscape and how players have their own voices, and media's cut off a little bit more some of these professional teams. But it's the sign of the times. It's 2024, so things change. But yeah, those Oilers, they have documentaries made about them. I wish I had covered that team, because they seem to be a lot of fun.
All right, so I had a friend share an article with me that kind of told the story about how the local sports anchor used to be such a big star. I mean, he would, when he would walk onto the sidelines to cover a game, there would be people yelling out his name, whether it was Gifford Nielsen or whomever, Bob Allen, that kind of thing. Yep. So I will share that with you if I can dig up that article. But now, and I'm not picking on Greg Bailey, he seems to have the shortest segment, and he'll talk for about 40 seconds and say, "We'll be right back." And that's the end of it.
And that's really what it's become. I mean, there's so many things that news stations are trying to pack in. They're trying to appeal to social media a little bit more. They're trying to do different things. And I've always, my big commentary on local news has always been, stations have to define what success looks like for them. And sometimes, unfortunately, it doesn't include sports. And which stinks, because Houston is a really passionate sports town still, and they love their sports, especially the Texans and the Rockets and the Astros. More so the Astros and the Texans; those are really the ones driving this train. So, but yeah, my heart goes out to those guys sometimes, because I love all those guys, and I developed some good relationships with them. So it is weird not being in that vibe, but the fact that I'm still here at the Sports Authority, getting to work with them and being around them, is great.
All right, Daniel Gotera, fantastic work here at the Harris County Houston Sports Authority. Thanks for spending so much time with us. I hope I didn't empty my briefcase too much, because sometime next year I think I want to talk to you again, see what's going on over here.
Absolutely, and hey, I'm happy to come on anytime to talk with you, and anything that you guys need. You guys do awesome work. I really appreciate all the stuff you do for Houston.
And we can be friends unless Cinco Ranch is playing one of our Fort Bend County teams like Fulshire or Ridgepoint in a playoff situation. I'm sorry, we can't talk to each other at that time. And one other thing, Zane Smith is this amazing running back for Fulshire. He hasn't cut his hair since the second grade. It's hanging out the back of his helmet, and he has a brother who plays for Houston's rugby team, who is the youngest, I believe, professional rugby player in the history of the world.
Really?
Yes, last name Smith, but no relation to me.
Wow, that's fantastic. No, that Fulshire program has really gotten strong over the last couple of years. Coach Kadudi?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a good guy out there. I've done a couple of things with him. In fact, I live out there in Katy near Fulshire, so the high school's about 15 minutes away from me. So, yeah, that's a great angle. That's a great story to do. I hope he doesn't get pulled down by his hair too much.
He did in the most recent
does.
Fulshire game that we broadcasted. He did get yanked down, and I was so proud of myself. I said, that's not a penalty. It's okay to do that. Horse collar is a penalty, but yanking the hair is okay.
Oh, man, that should be a penalty, though. Man, that could be really bad. No, hopefully they do well.
All right. Daniel Gulterra, thanks again, and we'll be back with the third quarter, either in a minute from now or just a few minutes from now on VypeFortBend.com.
Thanks, Daniel. You got to go. All right. Third quarter. Here we go, Patrick. How about that? It is the Marshall Buffs who are going to receive the football first, and they've got the Taylor brothers standing back at the 5-yard line. They're down 21-14, and Andy Cruz gets his foot into the ball. He kicks it deep. This is going to be returnable. It'll be Durrell Taylor across the 20, 25, 30. A flag is down. He makes a zigzag move. He's going to go down the far sideline, 30, 25, all the way, but check the flag. I have a feeling it's not going to count. It is Dejon Taylor, not Durrell, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to count.
Yeah, the flag came out pretty early. He was right around the 25-yard line, 30-yard line when the flag came out, and we could tell it wasn't going to count, but not everybody here could tell that. Unfortunately for the Buffaloes, they're going to have to drive that ball down the field.
And the penalty flags are the same color as the Buffs' uniform pants and helmets, so it's easy to not see a flag.
Exactly.
James Kelly, the referee, didn't turn on his microphone. We're playing charades, but it is holding, as we suspected.
Well, that it really did open up. That really opened up for the runner there, Taylor, but possibly one of the reasons why it opened up was the hold. Where are they going to mark it, though? Let's see.
Now the Buffs are starting with two running backs, Durrell Taylor and Peyton Long. More often than not, they have just the single setback.
I would imagine they're going to march it inside the 25, 23-yard line. But, I was looking at the total yards and the yardage and so on. The Buffs had 172 yards rushing in the first half. I would imagine at halftime they were discussing, let's keep that ball pounding on the ground.
We want to hear some more stats in a moment, but first, the first down play, Peyton Long right up the middle into the teeth of that Iowa Colony front, and he only gains 2 yards going straight up the field on the tackle, Chandler Love.
On the other hand, Iowa Colony was in the locker room discussing how they're going to stop the Marshall running game. So it's a game of...
I said 2, it turned out to be 1.
1, of course.
Ball at the 24-yard line following that walk-off for the holding penalty on the kickoff return. Caden Johnson takes the snap, and there's a whistle like Andre Feast took the ball on a jet sweep, but I'm not sure why they stopped everything. I hope Mr. Kelly's mic works. It does not.
Well, we could tell that one was a false start. You could read his lips and you could see the signal. False start, so it'll be second down and 14. They were about to run that jet sweep, and that was very successful in the first half. I wonder if Iowa Colony has made adjustments for that as well.
Such an opportunity for the Buffs, getting the football first here in the third quarter, trailing 21-14 when at the outset they were down 14-0. Durrell Taylor goes in motion. Caden Johnson rolls to the right, and he throws late, looking for Jakyron Edmonds. I think it's picked off. It is an interception by Iowa Colony. Macario Brackens jumping in front of Jakyron Edmonds, and he gets the pick, and that could be critical. The ball is at the 34-yard line, and Iowa Colony could negate the advantage that the Buffs had of getting the football first in the third quarter.
Well, you know those penalties just kill you. If it's 2nd and 9, you still might run the ball. In this situation, 2nd and 14, they elected to throw, and a great play by the defender there to step in front and make the interception. Buffaloes have had the ball a couple of times with a chance to tie and have been unable to do it.
Carson White in the shotgun. Wide to the right is Jaden Warren. I wouldn't be surprised if they threw deep on this first play, but it's a little quick pass, a little shovel pass to Jacody Miles. He runs right. He picks up 7 down to the Marshall 27-yard line.
I still want them to change the rule that that's a pass, because you get credit for a pass on that. And basically all you did is he just basically tipped it to him, right? You just kind of flipped it to him, and about the easiest pass you're going to make all day.
Iowa Colony, sorry.
And if it's dropped, it's just incomplete. It's not a fumble. So anyway, sorry about that.
On 2nd down and 3, there goes Carson White, bounces outside, gets to the 25. That's right at the line to gain for the first down. He was actually picked up and thrown down.
Is that Williams down there doing that?
No, that was Lonnie B. Fegans.
He lifted him off the ground with a little form tackle.
Iowa Colony playing quickly. 3rd down and 1 up the middle of tenor. No, it's a keeper, and it's going around the left end. Big yardage inside the 10 and out of bounds inside the 5. It was a keeper by the quarterback, Carson White.
Yeah,
he sold it pretty well, and no one knew he was out there until he had made plenty of yardage.
He faked it to Tenor inside, and then he kept it, and he got the edge.
Now it's on the near hash mark, and they give to Tenor going up through the middle, and he picked up 2 of the 4 that he needed, so it's 2nd down and goal from the 2.
Boy, this half just changed so quickly on that interception. Marshall feeling good about the opportunity of tying the score, and then all of a sudden the Pioneers have great field position, and now they're 2nd and goal.
They have the football right on the NFL conversion line at the 2-yard line if you were going for 2 in the NFL. Carson White rolling right. He'll keep it. He's hit near the 5, and the Buffs come up with a big defensive play, a 3-yard tackle for loss. Oh, my goodness, Carl Pelican. He, birds sometimes have a special sense about things that the rest of us don't, and it makes perfect sense. Pelican dropped him, and it ends up being a 4-yard loss. They have it at the 6-yard line, 3rd and goal from there.
This would be a big play for Marshall if they can keep him out of the end zone at this kind of position, because they would probably have to kick a field goal.
Denham Barnes comes on. We haven't seen him, and he replaces William Terry, who's a tight end, and also the deep snapper. And now a whistle prior to the snap and a timeout, Iowa Colony. Something tells me that their personnel package wasn't right.
Yep.
And that's why they wanted to take the break. We'll take it with them. Big play coming up, 3rd down and goal from the 6 when we return.
Be the first to know. Sign up for the First Tire and Automotive email updates and be the first to hear about exclusive promotions and special offers. Plus, get a $10 off coupon for your next service just for joining. First Tire and Automotive always treats you like family and puts you first. $15 off your next battery purchase and $75 off service totaling $500 or more. Head to the website for even more specials and to set your appointment. FirstTireandAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive's 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. FirstTireandAuto.com.
Patrick, so many things get magnified in a playoff game, and you think, okay, here we are in the 3rd minute, actually the 4th minute of the 3rd quarter, and Iowa Colony burned a timeout. Will they regret that later?
Well, the play clock was winding down as well, so they were trying to avoid a 5-yard penalty, but you're right. They always seem to come back to haunt you.
Carson White dropping straight back, looking end zone, pocket collapsing. Now he runs to his right. He's going to go for the pylon. He gets in, but a flag comes in. I think we may get holding in the wake of his run. And I think it will negate the touchdown.
And another penalty marker came in the end zone, so I don't know if that's the same penalty that the flags came out for or not. But I think this one's going to be called back. You're right, Roger. Let's see if we can hear James Kelly.
And the Buffs would be more than happy if it ended up being offsetting penalties. Anything to nullify the play.
Well, looks like it's going to be against Iowa Colony.
Yeah, okay, well, that's a huge break for the Buffs. Mr. Kelly switching on the mic, but we can't hear him. Looks like holding.
Yep.
Okay.
Roger, why do we have such a hard time with the referee mics?
I don't know, especially in an NFL stadium. All right, so 3rd and goal from the 16. Carson White dropping back, swings it out to Tenner, and a beautiful one-on-one tackle at the 15-yard line. The Buffs said, I don't think so, not this time.
Pelican
and
again?
It's Carl Pelican.
Yeah, he's making his name known out there, and this is going to be not a give-me field goal, 32-yarder. It was at the 6. It would have been an easy field goal attempt. Now we're talking 32 yards. Let's see here.
Andy Cruz out of the hold of Jacody Miles, and the kick is good. First Colony expands its lead, 24 to 14.
Iowa Colony.
What did I say?
First Colony.
Yes, you know they have a First Tire Auto location.
Exactly.
In First Colony.
There you go. That's what you were thinking.
And this is not the First Colony swim team. It is Iowa Colony, and they lead 24 to 14. We shall return on VypeFortBend.com. 7:37 to go in the 3rd.
Professional volleyball is coming to Houston this January, featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson. Love Houston Volleyball is Houston's newest professional team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 9th. Visit LOVB.com for more information and tickets for Love Houston matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
So Iowa Colony turns the first turnover into points. But the Buffs defense stiffens, and it's not a touchdown. They give up a field goal, but now they are down 24 to 14.
Well, Iowa Colony is going to look back on that if they don't win. Here's the kickoff.
It is going in the direction of Dejon Taylor. He catches it on the run at the 15, 25-30, runs into a mass of bodies, tries to bounce outside, and the 30 is as far as he got.
What I was saying is Iowa Colony will go back, they'll be kicking themselves if they don't come on and win this game, because they had the ball at the 2-yard line. It was 2nd and goal, I believe, from the 2. And they ended up having a holding penalty and so on. But they got 3 out of it. A little bit of a victory, I think, for Marshall, though, huh?
Yep. And this is, by the way, the first of a doubleheader of games on VypeFortBend.com on this Thanksgiving week Friday. The second game starts at 2. Fulsher taking on Atascocita. And now empty backfield as Caden Johnson takes the snap. Starts left, back up the middle. Tumbles over the 35 to the 36.
They had the quads receivers to the left and a receiver to the right. And as you said, empty backfield, just to spread them out and then let Johnson do his work for 8 yards. And can't complain about that.
Chandler Love came up from his safety position and kind of chopped down the considerably long legs of Caden Johnson. Empty backfield again on 2nd and 2, and he runs it straight up the middle. A lot of traffic there. He gained a yard, if that. It might have been a no-gainer.
He's going to be short of the first down, I'm pretty sure. 3rd and about 1 or 2.
Yeah, he did get 1.
So 1 yard to go here, 3rd down. Go ahead.
Third quarter's going kind of quickly.
Yes.
6.5 minutes left in the period. But Marshall is known for scoring quickly. Peyton Long in the pistol behind Caden Johnson. They give it to Long, and the little man sticks his nose in there. I think he got just enough for the first down at the 39 on 3rd and 1.
That last little surge gave it the first down, and those of the ball might be touching the 40.
Yeah, that'll be a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Marshall leading in first downs now 13 to 11 over Iowa Colony. The big play that made the difference in this one was the 90-yard Kickoff return for touchdown. There goes Jordan Simmons on a jet sweep. First down for Marshall. Ran it over the left side. Got it into Iowa Colony territory across the 50 to the 44. A 16-yard pickup. And that's a first down. So think of First Tire and Automotive. For all your car care needs, check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Solomon was the one who rushed him out.
The jet sweep has been a really good play for Marshall here this morning. Have we hit the afternoon yet?
Yeah, let's see. No, still 11:44-ish. There's a run off the left side. Darrell Taylor fighting. Good second effort. And he picks up about 12 more yards and yet another first down for the Marshall Buffs. And what we're seeing is a very effective running game. They don't have to throw the football when they're running it that well.
I just think that they got to keep doing this. They're running. They've got 200 yards rushing tonight, this morning, and just keep pounding it.
From the 32, Andre Feast in motion. Johnson takes the snap and throws it to Feast on the left side. And he doesn't get much, just a gain of 1. He had, I think, Jacaden Ferguson trying to block someone out in front of him, and that someone was Hayden Caston. He's very hard to block.
Hey, I saw an interesting play. After the play, the referees were throwing the ball to each other, and the ref threw it to one of the officials. It was short, and Nunn, the offensive center, caught it for the official and gave it to him. What a play that was.
Nunn. His middle name is Second Two. Second down and 10. There was no gain on the previous play. Caden Johnson, wide open, caught, touchdown, Buffs. Andre Feast uncovered. No correction. Jakyron Edmonds uncovered on the far sideline.
Well,
he was so wide open. Caden Johnson's eyes probably got as big as saucers, and he almost overthrew him.
Well, the receiver, one of the receivers came toward the middle of the field. He went to the outside, kind of in a wheel route type pass pattern, and he was wide open.
Tamir Williams to make it a 3-point game. He does. It is 24-21. The Buffs. By the way, they changed the scoreboard early here.
Well, that's that nice.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, 4:56 to go in the third. Buffs within 3. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, we got you covered. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity Internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us with an unlimited Plus line. Plus, get Xfinity Gigabit Internet with free Wi-Fi equipment for only $25 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add unlimited mobile. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual Internet speeds and data thresholds may vary.
On the kickoff, Iowa Colony's Jacody Miles returned it to the 29-yard line, and that's where Iowa Colony will go on offense again. Now it's the 28. It was the 29. They moved it to the 28.
They faked a reverse on that. They faked a reverse to Warren, who has a kickoff return already, and Miles kept it. But a good job by the Buffalo coverage team to limit him to the 28-yard line. Let's see if Iowa Colony can come make a response now to Marshall's big touchdown.
Aiden Starling is in as a receiver. We haven't seen him earlier today. Tenor, the freshman, carrying on the first play, and it's a pickup of 2. They never get him down, but they throw him back like a man sending back soup in a deli. Isaiah Williams with the tackle, and they gave him 4 yards before they pushed him back. Yep. 2nd and 6. Iowa Colony going from south to north. That is from right to left. We're looking at it the same way you look at NRG Stadium on TV. You know that because the logo in the middle of the field is right side up.
Exactly.
Carson White hands it off to Tenner. Big hole across the 40. He's down at the 44, and the reason he's down is a very fortunate ankle tackle from Caleb Chester. If he hadn't grabbed his instep, he would have set sail.
That was a big tackle. He had a big hole.
It's a first down at the 43. White hands it off. No, keeps it, goes right, and he was rerouted back inside. That's a nice defensive play from Lonnie B. Fegans, kind of like a cutting horse. Make him go back the way you want him to, back toward the place where he had help. 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, he made a good play because the quarterback made a good move to cut it back inside. That would be White, but only picked up 3.
And White had to reach down and tie one of his shoes.
That's important.
Yes, it is. Ian Hill, why don't they just put Velcro on athletic shoes?
No, I wouldn't be in favor of that.
2nd down and 7. And White, quarterback draw, big hole, 40, 35, 30. It's a foot race, 15, 10, and down inside the 10. Pelicans save the touchdown.
Boy, did he have a hole there. It was a quarterback draw, lead block, huge hole. And that touchdown saving tackle, hey, let's remember that. If they don't get a touchdown here and have to settle for 3, that could be one of those big plays of the game.
I'm sorry, we're so high up here in NRG Stadium, I misidentified the tackler. It was Ryan Johnson.
Give him
not
credit.
Pelican.
And that's called never giving up on the play. They still have to make 8 yards to score a touchdown. So,
yeah, the last time they had goal to go,
right.
they backed up.
Yep.
The Buffs defense came up with a stop. And now they got a whistle, and Iowa Colony takes its 2nd time out of the half.
We're keeping track of that for sure.
2:42 to go in the 3rd. 24-21, Buffs trailing and trying to play good defense inside the 10. We'll be back.
Be the first to know. Sign up for the First Tire and Automotive email updates and be the first to hear about exclusive promotions and special offers. Plus, get a $10 off coupon for your next service just for joining. First Tire and Automotive always treats you like family and puts you first. $15 off your next battery purchase and $75 off service totaling $500 or more. Head to the website for even more specials and to set your appointment. FirstTireAndAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive's 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. FirstTireAndAuto.com.
1st and goal at the 8 following the Iowa Colony timeout. They have it on the near hash mark. They're going from right to left. They lead 24-21. Holding them to a field goal attempt would be a big win for the Marshall defense right here. Carson White up the middle, makes a move, gets down to the 1.
Well, they're using some pretty good strategy too. I mean, it's working. Why not keep doing it? The quarterback, a good runner, and just ran up the middle for 7 yards on that one.
And now they are in the tush-push formation.
It was effective for them on, was that the first drive of the game, Roger?
Yeah, Carson White under center. And they push him forward. No signal yet. Now we have the signal. It is a touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown run by Carson White.
Well, I couldn't tell he was in on that. I just saw a pile of humanity down there, and now we're seeing the replay, and
he actually bobbled the snap slightly.
He got a really good push there from, was it number 50, I believe? I couldn't tell for sure, but boy, he basically just almost lifted him into the end zone.
Andy Cruz is on to kick the extra point, but he does not have a holder. Now his holder is sprinting out there, Jacody Miles.
We saw that in one of our games recently where they sprinted out and they ended up missing the extra point.
And that was Ridge Point against North Shore last Friday night.
That's right.
Up and good with the extra point kick, and we got a 10-point game again, 31-21. 2:06 to go in the 3rd. We'll be back with more of the Marshall Buffs on VypeFortBend.com, 3rd round of the playoffs.
Professional volleyball is coming to Houston this January, featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson. Love Houston Volleyball is Houston's newest professional team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 9th. Visit LOVB.com for more information and tickets for Love Houston matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
All right, so the difference in this second half is that Marshall turned it over on their first series of the third quarter when they had a chance to go down and score a tying touchdown. So they gave up a field goal at that point, and now the lead is yo-yoing back and forth from 3 to 10, that kind of thing.
Yep. But Marshall, there's still plenty of time. They don't need to, break from their strategy of running the ball.
Andy Cruz with the high kickoff. Dejon Taylor on the run at the 18. Gets across the 25, reroutes himself to the middle and stumbles. Goes down at about the 23.
Good coverage by the Pioneers that time. And how can you tell how high the ball is, Roger? We're so high above here, it's hard to tell how high that kick really is.
Well, I look at the shape of the parabola.
Okay.
Of the flight of the ball.
Thanks for bringing this math terminology back in.
And when it's a fairly short kickoff,
usually it's
kind of
high.
like the difference between a sand wedge and a 7-iron.
There you go. Math and golf brought into that conversation.
Caden Johnson, Peyton Long to his left from the 23. He takes the snap. Caden Johnson's going to keep it. Those long legs take him to the 27.
In some ways, Roger, this is kind of an old-fashioned football game. There's been so many running plays by the quarterback. They just get the ball from the snap to center, and they run it, and that's old-time football, except in the old days they would pick up about a yard or two every time. They didn't get all these big, long runs.
1 yard in a cloud of dust.
That's right.
Swing pass to the far sideline, minimal gain. Andre Feast caught it and just went straight up the sideline. Solomon knocked him out.
That's going to pick up, about 4 yards to go on this third down play. So another big play for the
2
Buffs.
yards on that one after 4 yards on first down, and now 3rd and 4.
And the Buffaloes are huddling. They huddle periodically. It seems like every real big play they go back and gather themselves in the huddle.
No wide receivers here. Here's a jet sweep. Going to give to Dejon Taylor, trying to get to the edge, and he's knocked down. He's not going to make it.
Wow, what a tackle.
That is an outstanding tackle. Jeremy Garner with incredible closing speed and just pushed on his hip and knocked his feet out from under him.
And they have to punt, Roger. It's 4th and about 3, and we haven't seen many punts here this morning, and we're going to probably see one here unless they decide to fake it, which...
Oh, no way. I don't think so. Well,
we got about 4 yards.
It's not beyond the realm of possibility. By the way, it's Jaden Warren back to return the punt. Looks like the Buffs are thinking about faking it. No, Tamir Williams punting it away. It's a wobbly punt. Jaden Warren, as a flag comes in, makes a fair catch at the 47.
Might have been a hold on one of the receiving men there. I'm not sure, but they're talking about it. Now they're going to go tell James Kelly, who's going to either voice it for us or signal it for us.
I'm afraid it's just going to be charades again.
Here it is. Well, we heard.
I was wrong, and that's good news. The bad
was.
news is it is kind of hard sometimes to understand the official.
Very distorted.
In this echo chamber.
Well, it's a penalty. We know this. It's a penalty against Iowa Colony, marching it back to the 38. They had the ball at the 48. Still decent field position with a 10-point lead, and we're under a minute here in the third quarter. Now the time starting to, play against the Buffs here.
Final minute of the third, and Iowa Colony's got to be thinking, we get a touchdown on this drive, it's a 3-score game.
Yep.
And that might be good enough. Carson White in the gun. Tenor to his left. Give to Tenor. Off right tackle. and heading toward the sideline, and he picked up about 6.
It's amazing how fast they pick up these 6-yard gains. It didn't look like a whole lot of stuff going on, and then next thing you know, they got a 6-7-yard gain, and they're in good position here.
Caleb Chester ran him out of bounds, and the clock stops with 33 seconds to go in the third. 2nd down and 4. White toss to Tenor, near side, trying to get to the edge, and the Buffs play it so perfectly. Ryan Johnson ran him out for a tackle for loss of 1, so it'll be 3rd and a long 5.
That might be the last play of the quarter. They might just let that clock run. I would imagine they would here. 15 seconds, and they're taking their time. With a 10-point lead, I would think you'd want to just get to the 4th quarter, wouldn't you?
Possibly, but nobody has their hand on the ground, so I think you're right. The 3rd quarter clock unravels completely, and it is 31-21. The Buffs, maybe 12 minutes left in their season. They got to make a comeback. This is VypeFortBend.com.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, we got you covered. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us with an unlimited Plus line. Plus, get Xfinity Gigabit Internet with free Wi-Fi equipment for only $25 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add unlimited mobile. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual internet speeds and data thresholds may vary.
Okay, here we go. Quarter number 4. Who is the team most likely to meet Randall next week in the 4th round of the playoffs? Carson White on 3rd down and 6 for Iowa Colony, leading 31-21, and now Carson turns around and looks over at the sideline. Play clock down to 5. Now he takes the snap, drops back, throws it out in the flat. Pass is tipped, and it's incomplete. That was almost a Ryan Johnson interception, and it was a pass intended for Ian Hill.
What's interesting about it, it almost was an interception for a pick 6. Then it was deflected. Looked like Marshall was going to get the deflection, and then it almost was received by the receiver, which would have been an unbelievable play there, but it went to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops. That's a nice little bit of information, too, for the Marshall Buffs. And the Twins are back. Are we calling them Twins?
Yes, Andy Cruz with the kick, and it's a beauty.
Holy
And
cow.
it bounces at the 5, and Darrell Taylor picks it up inside the 5, gets a nice block, gets out to the 10, the 14-yard line, and we do have a flag, and they're going to penalize his brother Dejan for, I believe, a blind side block. And I just think Darrell should have let that go into the end zone.
Yeah,
I think it was going that direction.
Once he had to go back that far and he kept going, probably would have been better. It's either a clip or a blind side on the block, as you said, Roger. So the field position, it's what you said, Roger. It's the blind side block. So they're going to be inside their own 10. And as you said, Roger, they would have gotten the ball in, decent field position had he just let it go. Try to make a big play out of it.
Well, we've seen the Buffs have a lot of 80-plus and 90-plus touchdowns.
Absolutely.
Especially in the last, 6-7 years.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. Especially they've had some big plays here today. They're going to have to go a long way, though. They're down by 10, but there's still plenty of time left. Got all 3 of their timeouts whenever they would need to use those later on, hopefully.
All right, the penalty moves the ball back to the 4-yard line.
96 yards from pay dirt. I want to know why they call it pay dirt. Pay dirt. You've heard of that, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so maybe you could enlighten us.
All right, so all three players in the offensive backfield are in the end zone, and Caden Johnson runs left, and he's stoned. It is Caston coming up with the tackle for a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 3. And you know someone who's kind of been quiet? Jacaden Ferguson, number 4 for the Buffs. He's in single coverage over here on the near side with Macario Brackens.
Maybe you just called his number just in time here. Let's hope. It'll be 2nd and about 11.
Here's a give to Peyton Long, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he gets nothing, but doesn't like it.
That's right, neither do the Buffalo fans. It's just tough to get it going down here inside your 5.
Jeremy Garner, no relation to Jennifer, comes up with the no gain stop, and it's 3rd down and 11. Johnson clapping his hands together, trying to get him to jump. They don't. Now he steps forward. We got 11 seconds on the play clock. Now he backs up again. He's standing in his end zone, waiting for the shotgun snap. Takes it, drops back, looks near side. Jacaden Ferguson makes the catch, trying to squirm away, but can't.
Good
Gets
defense.
out to the 7-yard line. It's only a gain of 3, and it's going to be time for Marshall to punt from its end zone.
That's just not what they needed, is it? They just needed to get a sustained drive. Now they got to give it back to Iowa Colony, trailing by 10. Clock winding underneath the 10-minute mark. Now the time is starting to become a big factor.
Jaden Warren, who's already returned a kickoff, 90 yards for a touchdown, is in deep safety to receive the punt from Tamir Williams. He's about 3 yards from the back of the end zone, gets it out of there. And Warren is going to be able to return this, but he muffs it. It's in the open field and is recovered by Iowa Colony. Oh, what an opportunity for the Buffs.
Good
but
play
by the
there.
boards. Chandler Love.
Yeah, he saved the day for the Iowa Colony Pioneers. I don't know if he just took his eye off that or what. He wasn't a whole lot of pressure for him to receive that. I think he was just, his eyes got big that he was going to get a punt return for a touchdown, and he just lost concentration. And unfortunately, there was only one Buffalo kind of going for that ball, and there were 3 Pioneers, and Pioneers got on it, luckily for them.
I have an explanation that you might find plausible.
All right, and I still want to hear about pay dirt, too.
Okay, well, I didn't make it up, so I can't really explain that one, but I have heard the expression.
Yeah, I thought you could. I'll have to look that up.
1st and 10 from the 45. Carson White hands it off straight up the middle, and nothing there for Tenor. Well, 1 yard, and that's it. And by the way, when we were getting our pregame stuff done,
yes,
we talked to Coach Williams, I was watching, just looking up at the NRG Stadium ceiling.
Oh, okay.
And it is kind of hard to pick up the ball with that grid of sky and girders and stuff like that. It is tough to pick it up.
It's something they're not used to, for sure.
So that might be why Warren didn't make a clean catch. Carson White handing off to Tenor. Spinning and brought down. Nice play in the open field. Isaiah Williams was not going to let him go.
He didn't. It looked like he was going to spin out of there, like you said, and then he just kept spinning in the same spot.
Okay, Les Clary, our silent partner inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters, says pay dirt is an expression used by miners when they find gold.
Oh.
Even though it's not in dirt, it's in kind of rocky stuff.
We appreciate the mothership chiming in.
3rd and 5. And up the middle, Tenor, nothing there. Great defense by the Buffs. Calvin Haywood. We haven't seen him play much. He comes in to spell some other defensive players, and he wraps up the tackle. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Calvin Haywood. My bad. It was Brandon Hood.
Well, good job by Marshall.
Oh, the defense getting the 3 and out when they needed it so badly.
Iowa Colony in great field position, only to be able to pick up 5 yards total. And the only thing is that the clock has wound underneath the 8-minute mark. And they got a long way to go here.
William Terry is the deep snapper. On target snap to Andy Cruz. And it's a spiral punt. And fair caught at the 5-yard line by Dejon Taylor. Long way to go for Marshall. Yeah. They trailed by 10, 31-21.
The last time they were here, they couldn't get a yard.
7 minutes and 42 seconds remain.
Attention, football fanatics. Don't miss out on the opportunity to be part of the Texas football history, where dreams are realized, legends are born, and where unforgettable moments unfold before your very eyes. Mark your calendars for the UIL State Football Championships, December 18th through the 21st at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where the best teams from 6-man to 6A leave it all on the field in the hopes of being a champion. For the latest updates and ticket information, head for the uiltexas.org/football. Again, that's uiltexas.org/football.
All right, Buffs 95 yards away from the end zone where they need to get, and they're down by 10. Caden Johnson play action pass, throws it short. Dejon Taylor makes a move, zigging and zagging, still fighting, but gets to the 13, and they bring him down there. Pickup of 8, 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, he had his by the jersey, and he hung on. I don't know what number it was for Iowa Colony hanging on there. I think it was 22, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, and that is Kalen Simmons.
Clock continues to run.
Closing in on the 7-minute mark. Andre Feast splits out here to the near side. Johnson gives it off. Peyton Long bounces off a tackler, gets the first down, spinning ahead for 4. And Simmons makes another tackle, but first, the sticks move.
Yeah, they wanted to get that first down. There's nothing wrong with that call. The clock stops on the movement of the chains. And here they go. 1st and 10
from the 17. Johnson looks right, now looks left, scrambles, wants to keep it. Now he's into open field, across the 30, 35, 40, and dives ahead to the 43.
Boy. Sorry, he had a great run there. He had 2 guys bearing down on him, and then he shipped it back to the other side, cut against the grain, and found a great daylight to the 42.
And Simmons made the tackle for the 3rd straight play.
Oh.
And now we got a pre-snap penalty. I think somebody flinched on the Marshall side. It'll back them up to the 38.
Pioneers were pointing again, and one of the linemen for Marshall shrugged his shoulders a little bit, or shook his head a little bit in disgust. So it was a good call. But 1st and 15.
Less than 6.5 minutes to go. Marshall down by 10, and they move before the snap again.
Well, that's really tough. 1st and 20 now, Roger. What call do you have now?
Well,
one thing we do know is it's 4-down territory. At this point in the game,
Iowa Colony's got good speed in the secondary. It doesn't seem like Marshall can beat them deep like they can do with so many of their opponents.
But I tell you what, Johnson might be the best weapon. Once he finds a gap and scrambles, that might be a good way to get some yardage. I don't know if Iowa Colony is trying to spy him or not.
1st down and 20. Johnson looking, and he's sacked.
Boy.
Oh my goodness. He just couldn't afford to hold the ball as long as he did.
Yeah, he came number 90. This is the 2nd time I think he's had a
Christopher
sack.
Johnson.
Yeah, he came in on bearing in on him. Caden Johnson turned back right into him. Nothing he could do. Now it's 2nd and long.
I'm smelling a Randall versus Iowa Colony matchup next week. Caden Ferguson, they were going to do a double pass, and he couldn't get the ball out of his hand because there were black jerseys converging on him.
That was great coverage by the Iowa Colony defense. They even had the man who he was going to throw it to on the double pass. He was pretty well covered too. So good job by Iowa Colony there. It's going to be 3rd and, what does it say on the board? 29. 3rd and 29.
They need a penalty to bail them out here. Johnson drops back, throws over the middle. Caden Ferguson got it, 40-yard line, and he's well short of the 1st down, but he's within 9 yards of it.
That's a lot.
So maybe that's a lot, but it's a lot better than 29.
That's exactly right. I mean, they're in a position now where they can have a decent opportunity to make the 1st down. 4 minutes to play, though.
All right, 4th down and 9. Gotta have it here. Johnson stands strong, throws, and it's out of the reach of Dejon Taylor, incomplete. Nice defense. Getting in the way was Henry Kalu.
Yeah.
The Buffs turn it over, 4:08 to go. They're still down 10, and the defense has got to get it back for them. Good news here, Patrick. Marshall has all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, that's one
and
plus.
I don't think they better wait to use them.
Probably not a whole lot. You know what's interesting? They have the lead in yardage. They've outgained Iowa Colony by, what is that, about 70 yards?
It was that 90-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, the kickoff return was the big play. And then there's 3 points on the board. The turnover by the Buffs gave them 3 points at the beginning of this half, too. So.
From the Buffs, 43. Iowa Colony has enough points. If they can just bleed off enough clock, they will secure the victory. They lead 31-21. Everything is heavy to the left side of the formation, but there is one single receiver on the near side. White runs left and tries to stay in bounds, and he does. Did he step out? He did step out. Oh my goodness.
That's a break, obviously. He made a cut, and when he made the cut, there was nothing to stop him from the end zone.
We can watch the replay.
Here's the replay, Roger. What do you got?
It was real close. If we had NFL replay cameras, we might figure out that he did not actually step out, but the official ruled that he did. But he did pick up 9 yards. So the Buffs, they save a timeout, but they didn't really accomplish what they wanted. It's going to be tough to prevent a first down here. And running over the right side is Carson White. He gets the first down on a 2-yard pickup, and that moves the sticks. The clock keeps moving too. They should stop the clock. The sticks are moving. You're supposed to stop the clock.
Yes.
Yeah, they just let it fly.
This
is a playoff game, Patrick. I'm not yelling at you.
No, I feel like you are. Would you have thought that Marshall would have only scored 1 touchdown in the second half?
No.
I thought they were poised for a high-scoring second half, and they've only scored 1 touchdown.
White on 1st and 10 gives to Tenor. The freshman runs left. He gets nothing, but he wraps 2 arms around the football, and so it'll just be a pickup of 1. Second down and 9, but the clock keeps ticking.
They did not call timeout there.
They didn't. There's
not sure
3:06 to go.
You got to start calling at some point here, I think. Maybe after this play. But the time is on the Iowa Colony side right now with a 10-point lead.
They're just taking their time.
I'm trying to figure out their logo, Roger. Maybe you could help me out.
There goes White. He's going to keep it. Runs left. Dropped for a no gain. But that's no big deal.
There's your timeout.
Lonnie B. Fegans made the tackle, and there's the first timeout that Marshall has at its disposal in this second half.
So Iowa Colony has like a star around the I and the C. I'm trying to think of Pioneer, Star. What's the
Manifest Destiny? I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I do like their nickname, the Pioneers.
Yeah.
So many names are used just way too often.
I wonder what you would name your team if you were developing a team. What would you come up with? Something
I'd want something that sounded like a minor league baseball team.
Oh, don't bring up those. Those are weird, in my opinion.
Well, some of them stink, but some of them are
What about the state?
clever.
What about Space Cowboys?
I don't really like it as much because it doesn't have a rhythm like Sugarland Skeeters. I like Skeeters.
Yeah.
All right, but we got to talk football.
Yeah, what is it? 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9
from the 29. A must stop for the Buffs, obviously.
Would Iowa Colony say, let's put the ball up?
I'd keep it in the hands of the quarterback or the guy who's going in motion.
Warren in motion, running to the right. Carson White gets through a hole inside the 20, 10. A flag comes down.
He got to the end zone, but that's going to be called back. Will he be allowed to keep the first down? It's a spot foul. Will it be a first down and then march it off, or will they
All right.
have to go for it on 4th down.
The flag's at the 14.
Right.
So if it's a holding penalty, that's usually 10 yards from the spot.
Should take it to 25.
Which would back them up to the 24. So they would repeat the down, and they'd have
3rd and 4.
4 yards to go.
All right, so it'd be 3rd and 4. Boy, they just couldn't stop him on that simple play. Quarterback just ran off tackle. Here's a call. Will we hear James Kelly or not? He's explaining some things down there to the Iowa Colony coaching staff.
Ray Garza is the head coach, and he looks like he's a little upset about something.
Well, I think we saw it was a hold, and then the rest of it was just a lot of noise.
By the way, fans, when this game ends, we're going to say the quickest goodbye that we can say. We got to put all our toys, in the containers we brought them in. Got to get out to our car and make our way to Aldine ISD, where Fulshear and Atascocita are no doubt getting their very first warm-ups and stretching done right now.
2 o'clock game start time, and now they're still. Where are they going to march this thing off here? They're going to go. We thought it would be somewhere around the 24, 25 yard line, but they're still maneuvering.
It's going to be better than that for the Buffs, I
think so.
They're marking it from the 25. So they take it back to the 35.
And that's why the Iowa Colony coach was not very happy. I think he was,
presumably where the flag is thrown is the spot of the foul. It's 3rd and 14 now for the Pioneers from the Marshall 45. 2:29 to go. The Buffs with 2 timeouts still to use. They've got to get the football back and fast.
They got to stop them on this play for sure. And they're taking their time. The play clock has not even, the ball hasn't even been whistled in for play yet. Not sure what the delay is. Now the play clock is running.
But the game clock holding at 2:29.
So Iowa Colony has no benefit to take their time here necessarily.
White runs left. Same play going the other way. Gets outside the numbers, and he's near the sideline. He ran out of bounds. That helps the Buffs. The Buffs don't have to use a timeout here, but he did pick up about 11 yards. So it's going to be 4th and 2. And would they bring on Andy Cruz to try and make this a 13-point game?
I think they're going to just run it again. They're just going to go for it. There they are, set up the line of scrimmage. The Buffs have to have a stop here.
They have it at the 23. They've got to get it to the 21. 4th down. And if the Buffs don't stop them here, it's over. And Iowa Colony has just used its final timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll make it a short one and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Professional volleyball is coming to Houston this January, featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson. Love Houston Volleyball is Houston's newest professional team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 9th. Visit LOVB.com for more information and tickets for Love Houston matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
Well, if the Buffs can't pull off a miracle comeback, then we are down to 2 Fort Bend County teams, the Randall Lions and the Fulshear Chargers. And we'll bring you Fulshear's game against Atascocita starting at 2 o'clock. The Buffs have to go all out to prevent a 2-yard gain right here. Carson White running to the right, throws the ball, caught, 1st down, that will do it. He found Jacody Miles, about a 6-yard pickup, the sticks are moved.
Well, I'm sure the Buffs were thinking he was going to run on that play. I did too, and he rolled to the right and he found his receiver, Miles, and little easy play for them and a first down. And Roger, the clock is, let's see, did they call? He went out of bounds, that's right. 2:03 to play. The chances are dwindling. As Paul Simon would say, slip sliding away.
Hand off to Tenner, running left, dropped for a loss of 1. And the Buffs use a timeout on that tackle, Lonnie B. Fegans. By the way, Lonnie B. Fegans, one of many fine seniors on this Marshall team that is going to see their last high school season come to a close.
Barring some sort of an unbelievable finish. Both teams have showed excellent running tonight, this morning, as we have hit afternoon finally. 200 yards rushing for Iowa Colony, 237 for the Marshall Buffs. So both teams showing their running ability here on offense today.
Well, the Buffs outgained Iowa Colony 324 to 303 thus far, and their rush yards much better, 237 to 200, and they made more first downs. But what matters is points.
That's right.
It's 31 to 21, second down and 12. Marshall has one more timeout. Carson White sends a man in motion, now runs it straight up the middle himself. And the Buffs limit him to about a 2-yard gain, and they call their final timeout. Do they?
They did not.
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't see it. I just heard.
No, the clock is still running, Roger.
Well, I could have sworn I heard the PA guy say timeout.
Guess they didn't call it.
3rd and 11. 1:30 on the clock. And on the play clock, you still have 18 seconds.
Well, they wouldn't call a timeout now. They would have called it earlier if they were going to do it. I guess they're going to wait for the 4th down situation.
William Terry comes in as a tight end. Started to line up on the left, moved to the right, now back to the left. Now we have a whistle.
Delay a game.
Yeah, they had no problem just taking the delay.
1:06 to play. They wouldn't be passing here, would they?
Well, probably not.
They
need to force Marshall to use its final timeout, and then they could bring on Andy Cruz if they wanted.
That's right. They
got
to make
a field goal.
I forgot about that timeout. They've got to make him use it. Yeah. So just look for a running play here of some sort.
The clock was running. There goes Carson White. Turns it up. Short gain down to the 15. That's it. Marshall calls its final timeout. And do you see number 10 coming out onto the field?
I do see him, and now I see him walking back. Maybe they're not going to.
It may just be because it's a timeout.
Yeah.
But I think about the final score when these two teams met the first time. It was 35 to 21. And if they bring on Cruz and make a field goal, the final score today would be 34 to 21.
That's makes you wonder, doesn't it? And if they played a third time, would the score be the same? Let's see. The mystery is whether they're going to actually kick it or not. I guess you would.
Yeah, he's going to go kick it.
He's got a 32-yard field goal under his belt here today already, and he's going to go for another 32-yarder.
And it would be kind of a left to right kick for the right-footed Andy Cruz. Oh, it's on the far hash mark.
Yep, the left
kicking
hash.
at NFL uprights. Not easy to do. The kick is up, and it is good. 34 to 21 with 32 seconds to go.
Yeah,
so, Patrick, remember, we're going to say our quick goodbye. So if you got something to say to our Marshall listeners right now,
well, congratulations
this would be the time.
On a great season again. It apparently is coming to an end on a sour note, but boy, I tell you what, the fight in the Marshall Buffs never seems to quit. They were down 14-0. Looked like it could get ugly early, but they showed a lot of character in a lot of moments of this game. Proud to be watching the Marshall Buffs.
The big play in the first half was the 90-yard kickoff return for touchdown by Jaden Warren, and the big play in the second half was the interception. I think it was Mikario Brackens who picked off a pass, and suddenly the first possession that Marshall had in the third quarter ended up being a short field for Iowa Colony, and it just kept the lead at either 10 or 3 or 7 the rest of the way.
I don't know what was called down there, but
wait a minute. Are they going to, was it maybe one of those leaping things? Sometimes they call...
I don't know, the ball's going back to the 15. And I don't know what it is. I didn't really hear James Kelly. He had made an announcement earlier. Now he's going over to the Marshall sideline to say some things. And the
well, if
Iowa
there
Colony...
Yeah, they're sending the offense back out there.
I wonder what in the world this could be. Could it be a personal foul of some sort that they took the field goal off the board? Maybe give them an automatic first down. I think that's what it is.
Okay, so it's no longer 34-21. And by the way, some real class being shown by Detrick Brown. He's going over there to Carson White and congratulating him.
I didn't hear what he
so
said.
It's just time for a kneel down. As you said, they took the field goal off the board. It's 31-21. And James Kelly, our referee, wants a certain amount of time on the clock, but it really doesn't matter. Not going to change a thing.
Basically one snap and it's over.
All right, he starts the clock running again, and then it stops. Okay, now they took a knee. That's it. And the Iowa Colony Pioneers have overcome the Marshall Buffs. 31-21, they will advance to play either Randall or Brenham next week in what would be the Class 5A Division II Region 3 final. The round of 8, basically, is the next one. Thanks for listening. For Patrick Kinnick and Les Clary, I'm Roger Smith. Goodbye from NRG Stadium, and we'll rejoin you at about 2 o'clock and bring you the game between Fulshear and Atascocita. Happy Thanksgiving, or day after anyway, and we'll talk to you again soon.